Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s. But we are still married to the games. Episode 260. Oh, yeah. It's your boy, Gabe Patillo, with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, man. It's been a time.
Yeah, it has.
It sure has.
Been a time and it's been a journey.
What do we got?
This crummy t-shirt.
Oh, that's all we got?
Yeah, Tim Router. Oh,
I believe we got night show.
Night.
Man, you guys are slacking
I was
tonight.
not picking up on that.
I
was
was
like,
neither.
what reference is he trying to get us to pick up on?
Keep up, people.
I'm tired.
And I'm the old one. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Come on,
gosh.
man.
Since you're up and at 'em, why don't you
Yes.
let us know what's going on with you, what you're playing, and what's going on.
I got you.
And what you're playing.
I got you.
Go ahead.
Well, let's start with Piper's topic of the week, and it is Mimi and Pop Pop, because Mimi and Pop Pop have been out of town this past week, so I actually feel like I own a home, and it's just the three of us again. They went out west. They
Just the three of us.
That's right. They did a trip with some of their friends, so they all met in Denver and then headed. They did like Yosemite and Grand Tetons, and did a bunch. They just kind of did a west, like an out west trip, which is really really cool.
Yeah, what's a West
Teton? What is a Grand Teton?
Grand Tetons.
No, the Grand Tetons is an area.
Grand Teton.
Near Yellowstone, I believe. I'm gonna get oops on this, I'm sure. But anyway, they're out in
Grams has tea time
in the west, and so they're having a great time. They come back tomorrow. I go pick them up, and so Piper's very excited to see Mimi and Pop Pop again. But it was kind of nice. We just kind of had the house to ourselves over this Labor Day, and we did nothing on Labor Day weekend, which was awesome. I mean, we just did some, laundry and just did a little shopping here and there. But other than that, it was just hanging out and just being together, which was great. We had no we had no birthday parties. We had no soccer games. It was fantastic.
Even nicer.
Yeah, even better. Even better. We slept in. It was glorious. It was that's kind of what we do actually on Labor Day weekends now. The past couple of years, we've just been like, let's just not do anything, because Memorial Day you're like always doing something, and then this Labor Day weekend is pretty much the last real just being able to relax, because man, things are rocking and rolling. We have our first walkthrough on the 22nd for the house. We have our final walkthrough and closing on the 29th of September.
There you go.
So this house is almost done, and I'm dreading it, but at the same time, it's just like let's get in there.
Why are you dreading it?
Because the closet door knobs are all wrong.
No, because I hate moving like with a passion. I absolutely hate having to pick up and just go. But we're just going to knock it all out.
And you haven't moved in a long time. You haven't moved in 14 years.
14 years, yeah. So
wow, you're due.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He has helped me move twice, though, is the thing.
I got two storage units to pack back up. I've got this house to pack up, and then we move it all over to the new house. But I've got movers. They're good friends of ours, and so he's got a moving company, and he's got some guys coming, and they're going to take care of it all, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, so I am definitely relieved of that. So that's always good to have some really good help and hired help, which is always great. So I walk into Rock Paper Scissors 2 days ago.
The store you own.
And what were you doing there?
The store that my wife owns, yeah.
Right.
And
you thought the lady that worked there was hot?
Exactly. I was just checking this girl out because, I've been crushing on her for the past 19 years. And
right. She only got one child.
That's right. That's right. We could go the Patillo way. Let's keep going.
She's got a sweet new house.
Exactly. So I walk in, and who is standing there before me? Ladies and gentlemen, the OG, Mr. Timothy Hall, and his wife Krista, and
he's real,
and their daughter Rogue. They were just hanging out. They've been hanging out for a while, and I get there, and I just was like, Hall, and just went up, gave him a huge hug. And we just sat there and talked for like an hour and a half. It was amazing.
So was he? Was he waiting around for you, or was he talking to Lauren?
Krista was talking to Lauren, and they were all talking. And so when I walked in, there he was. And so they've been talking for a little while, and they just wanted to come in and say hi because here's the Hall update, and it's a big one. They're moving out west.
Out west?
Oh, really?
They're moving to Santa Monica, California.
Wow.
Nice.
What's in Santa Monica?
That's awesome.
Besides the pier.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
Santa Monica.
Yeah, Santa Monica. So they're going to be 4 blocks away from the beach. They sold their house, so they're just they're living, I think, just for this week in a hotel, and then they're going to fly out there.
Wow.
They're selling their cars, they're selling everything, and they're heading out west. He and Krista have their own business. You know, Krista did like this pet design stuff, and that actually turned into they do decals, vinyl decals now. That's their business, and it's called.
How does that turn from that to that?
Because she used
were they decaling dogs?
She used vinyl decals.
They're like, we should do cars.
Exactly, exactly. She used vinyl decals for some of her dog, pet, whatever stuff that they had, and so it just one thing led to another, and they are running it's a little family run business, and they're crushing it. And so Nashville Decals is heading out to Santa Monica, and he's just
Are they gonna change their name? Santa Monica Decals?
Yeah, we were talking about that. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be a little weird. I'm like, oh please, the West Coast will love that. It's because it's so ironic. So it's like, oh yeah, Nashville here in Santa Monica, so they'll eat that stuff up. But
you couldn't move to Texas with that junk.
No, exactly.
They won't be having that.
But he's doing great, man. He's been actually gaming quite a bit more now because he has more time to do so.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Rogue is adorable. She's 17 months, and she's just really, really sweet. And it was just great to see them. And man, I'm super excited for them. So I told him, listen, when you get settled, you let us know, and we've got a night show going. He's like, you guys are still doing the early morning podcast? I'm like, yep. He's like, and so I said,
that's what Gabe and I said.
when we do another night show, man, we gotta get the OG back in here. So he's gonna text me his address and everything when they get out there. And
nah, man, he gotta get up at 3.
Yeah, right.
If he wanted,
yeah, no. I said, yeah. I mean, if you want to get up at 3, you can. He's like, let me know when there's a night show. But I'll tweet out a picture. I got a picture with him, and it was just really cool catching up with him. It was really good to see him.
That's awesome.
And
nice.
So kudos to the Halls, and good luck.
When are they leaving?
I think Krista leaves the next few days or so. He's got a few things he's got to finish up here. So Krista's flying out with Rogue because they just got their apartment approved and everything. And so, yeah, they're just picking up and moving, and they're just going to move everything over there. And it's amazing, man. I was just like, everything just happened all at once. I'm like, what is going on? What is this vortex? Because I thought Hall was going to stay here forever because he really liked the Nashville. But I think they were just like,
he probably hadn't been to Santa Monica yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I know,
and then
right?
he had a taste of Santa Monica, and he's like, that's it.
Yeah, he had always talked about like wanting to live, or I remember him talking about wanting to live like out in the country with some land and stuff.
Right.
Santa Monica is like the total opposite of that.
Yeah,
I would not have picked that at all.
No, but it was really cool. And you know what? They were just like, we've got our own businesses. We have, we have all this flexibility. Why not? Let's just go out there and go for it.
Awesome.
So kudos to them, man, for just taking a big leap. And so he's like, yeah, man, when you guys are at E3 next year, I'll be there.
Sick.
So he's going to start going to all this stuff. So I think he's got his gaming shoes back on, and he's ready to hit the track, which is really awesome. So,
well, Chris, we're out of a job.
Yeah. No, not at all. But yeah, it was really good to see them. So that was kind of like a highlight of my week so far,
awesome.
which has been really, really great.
Yeah.
On the gaming front for me, I finally started Uncharted Lost Legacy and loving it.
Nice.
I'm on chapter 5 right now, and yeah, man, I really, really enjoy the back and forth between the two female characters. I think it's great. I think it's different than Nathan Drake, and the dialogue it's just witty, and it's girl talk, and it's just really good. Like it's very it sounds and feels very natural, and they're also kick butt women too who can
get it done.
Who can stealth kill. Or choke out somebody. So it's really cool. So I'm having a really good time with it. I haven't been playing it as much. I haven't had like a decent hour-long session to actually just get into it. But hopefully I'll be able to do that in the next coming days, which is nice. But loving that. And then my sweet little Piper was like, "Hey, let's play some Disney Crossy Roads again," and that got me back hooked, line and sinker on that game again.
Wow, really?
So they on the weekends now they do these like weekend challenges, and you can collect like a new character, but there's like a ton of stuff that you have to do, like hop 180 times with Aladdin or do something like that. So I was doing this huge weekend challenge to get one of the characters, and Piper was like, "Daddy, did you get it yet? Did you get it yet?" And so it's just been fun, like, because they always do like little daily challenges, and so I'm kind of back into it.
Nice,
which is
nice.
Yeah, it's really odd and out of the ordinary, but it's been a lot of fun. I've been having a good time with it.
I love
Be sure
that.
to tell me how many times you get Donald.
Oh yeah. Oh please, I've had him forever.
I know, but there's going to be new versions of Donald.
I even have
Right.
the figurine of Donald from the Disney Crossy, because we're collecting all those little mini figurines, and it's a lot of fun. So that's a little daddy-daughter thing that we like to do as well. Other than
That's
that,
awesome.
man, Piper's rocking it. Third weekend of kindergarten. I think we're in a good schedule now. Things are great. We started another soccer game this weekend. Our team is crushing it. We had a good practice on Tuesday. I think our girls are really starting to get it together, and so we're going to be out there for that championship.
Nice.
And college football started this past weekend, so yeah, it's good. And we had a nice fall day today here in Nashville, which was pretty amazing. So man, life is good. I'm happy.
There we go.
And that's it for
I like it. Chris McCracken.
Well, I've just been trying to do some house hunting. I've gotten to see about, I want to say on Saturday, I went and saw probably 6 houses.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
And then on Monday, I think I saw 1 or 2 more. Nothing that like totally hit me that was, oh, this is the one. But it's also, it feels a little weird because Stacy's not here. And so it's, if I really like one, I may text her. And one time we did try to FaceTime and walk her through the house, but this had to be the one where my signal dropped out and I didn't show her any more of it. And I just
Don't
let her
move there.
know after the fact.
That never
Yeah.
fails.
Don't move to a house where your phone don't work.
And it was a really nice house. Yeah, it was a really nice house. There were some other things that we didn't really like. It was really close to their neighbors, and our last place that we lived was pretty close to our neighbors, like in terms of their house is like really close, and we kind of want to space it out a little bit more.
Sure.
But other than that house was really nice, and so I haven't found obviously the one yet. And like I said, it's a little bit strange going on my own because I feel like, well, I don't really want to make the decision. They're like, yeah, we're buying this.
Right, that's right.
That doesn't really feel right. But luckily, Stacy, she'll view all the little listings and stuff before I go out there, and then I'll just kind of follow up with her and let her know how it went. I also had just a handful of little things that I had to do on my car that I had been putting off. Nothing that was major, but like when you add them all together, the bill kind of gets a little bit big. I was like, well, it's kind of the best time for me to do that. So I went ahead and knocked out like 4 or 5 things that I had to have done on my car, and then found out that 2 of my tires are bad, and then one of them is now going bad because it's going flat. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Really?
And then my little icon popped up, said, hey, it's time for a oil change and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. Everything under the sun feels like it's just falling apart right now. Yeah. I mean, it's the absolute perfect time for something like this to happen because, I don't have a mortgage, but still it's like, man, when it rains, it pours, But outside of that, I mean, I really didn't do anything. I took it pretty easy this weekend. I was off on Monday, so I wanted to have at least one day in there where I didn't really do anything, and that day was on Sunday. Gaming-wise, I did jump in a little bit more to the Call of Duty beta. It had opened up again this time. It was also on the Xbox One.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it really wasn't any different. They added 1 or 2 new maps and a couple new weapons. But other than that, if you had played the previous week, it's basically the same thing. So I didn't play a ton of it. I just got in there just to kind of mess around, see if I could try some of the new maps, whatever. I'm definitely going to be getting the game. I'm super happy with everything that I played.
Nice.
So that's good. Hearthstone and Overwatch is normal. And then I did the same thing as Tim. I was like, all right, I'm going to start Lost Legacy because I knew Destiny 2's around the corner, and then a lot of other stuff's going to start coming out. It's like, man, if I don't jump on this, it could be one of those things where other things come out and take my attention. And it's like, I want to do this. So I jumped in on it on Sunday, and I just played it that entire day, and I finished it.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, and what I'll say is that I feel like when I was going in, when it first was announced back at, I think it was PSX is when we saw the first trailer. And then, you saw a little bit more at E3, obviously we did when we were there. And I've always been like, oh yeah, I'm totally in for this. But because I'm getting distracted by all these other games, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I just really want to get in there. I don't want to say I forced myself to play it, but a little bit. I was like, you know what? I need to play this. And then once I get rolling, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm starting it and I'm playing, there's definitely, because I want to speak a little bit here to Gabe, because he was the one who wasn't fully in love with Uncharted 4 and had some concerns when it comes to like Lost Legacy.
But I did like it a lot. I just wasn't in love with it.
You did like it.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And you had said
I want to
before,
sound like I didn't like it.
Yeah, but you had said before, like, you're probably not going to do anything with Lost Legacy because you're expecting it to be like just more Uncharted 4, right?
Put it this way. He's not going to write a song about it, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I will say there is definitely a lot similar to Uncharted 4 in terms of, obviously, like mechanics, like you drive a Jeep in it. They have the sliding down the things a couple times. Chloe says no, kind of like Nate. And I was like, oh, is she going to have a lot of lines like Nate? But she doesn't. I will totally agree with Ed and Tim that it doesn't feel like she's just saying Nathan Drake lines, but
right, because in the trailer, I always felt like it was Nate Drake lines with Chloe saying it. Yeah. So I'm so glad to hear that.
I don't really get that impression.
No,
I don't feel that way at all. I totally feel like they have their own voice. I think that their dynamic, while it's probably not as entertaining as like a Drake and Sully dynamic, it's interesting, and it's just interesting in a different way.
They don't have as much history as Drake and Sully either, so it's
that's one thing that I will say. It's and as you play the story and it kind of unfolds and you see like how they got together and why they're working together and all that, it makes sense. But it is a little weird. It's like, wow, this girl was kind of like a main villain for a lot of Uncharted 4, and here I'm just buddying with her. It's a little like, huh. But it once you get through the end of it, or as you're going along, it just makes more and more sense.
Yeah.
There are some other throwbacks to other Uncharted, like things that happen in the game. That's like, wow, that's very Uncharted 2, or that's very Uncharted this. Not a ton of it.
When Chloe was around.
Well, yeah, but not just that. I'm saying like other gameplay elements and things.
Oh, I see.
It'll be very reminiscent of stuff you've done in the past, but not so much that it feels like it's just a mishmash of all the Uncharteds. It does feel like it kind of stands alone, I think.
Oh, good.
And I think whenever I got to the end of it, I think the length was really good. The only real problem, if you want to call it that I had with Uncharted 4 is I felt like it was too long. I feel like it just a little on the long side for me. It was definitely, I'm pretty sure it was the longest of all the Uncharteds, and it just felt like there was a couple things, and I don't know exactly what they were. I wasn't playing something that's like, oh, this should have been cut. But when I got done with it, I was like, man, this game shouldn't it be wrapping up soon? I mean, gosh, this is long. This felt like the perfect length. I really liked the length.
Nice.
And I didn't look at my counter, like how many hours I actually put into it. But I mean, I played it all day and I got through it and I felt satisfied. And after I was done with the game, I've gone back and thought about it more and more as time went by. So I think this, I think I'm not going to say I like it better than Uncharted 4, but it's pretty dang close to even with it for me.
Nice. That's awesome.
I like hearing that.
I really enjoyed it. And it's definitely one of those things, the more I just kept thinking back on it over and over after I was done playing it. So I really highly recommend it. The price is good. The game, the amount of time you've got to sink into it is good.
Yeah.
It's fun. I would say, Gabe, you should go ahead and go for it at some point. Maybe not right now. Maybe if you want to wait till a sale or something like that. But I think you should jump in at some point and give it a shot.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, because I'm like you, Chris, like sometimes I got to force myself onto a situation because I feel like if I don't, then I'll let the time pass and then I'll never go back to it. Kind of like Dishonored 2.
Yes.
Like as bad as I wanted to play Dishonored 2, I kind of let it just float past me and was playing other games. And now it feels too far in the back, or with Watch Dogs 2, too far in the back. And so I see what you're saying. I probably need to pull the trigger at some point, this holiday season. But I'm glad to hear that everybody's loving it so much.
As I went back and during my replays, because the first time I play, I'm so into the game and paying attention to my driving, or what if something jumps out, a lot of the dialogue kind of just rolls over me and I don't really pay attention to it. And so on the playthroughs, the second and third time around, when I could really pay attention to the dialogue, it really helped explain a lot of Nadine and kind of her position and
her motives,
who she is and why she does what she does. And it was really, I liked the way they did that, because I was the same way. I was like, wasn't she the bad guy for a long time?
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool how and why she is where she is.
I like that.
And there were some twists
really
and
cool.
turns in it that I didn't see coming and know about. I mean, other people that are more perceptive, maybe they'll kind of figure it out. But I enjoyed all that stuff. It was really, really fun. And then on Tuesday night, I went with Katie and Kale up to the GameStop because they were getting she got a physical copy of Destiny, the limited edition one. And then Kale got the white PS4 Pro bundle.
Lord have mercy.
Ooh.
So I went up there and got
Nice.
picked up Destiny 2 with them, came home, and then started playing not quite at 11 because I got this error that said the servers are at capacity.
Right.
So I had to wait about 10, 15 minutes before it finally threw me into the game. And then I played for about an hour and a half maybe. And then I had to get up early this morning, so I just couldn't let myself go too far. If anybody had played the Destiny beta, there was this social space that you got to try out on one of the days of the beta called the farm. And I basically went till I unlocked the farm.
Oh, got you.
And then
nice.
stopped right there, which is not super far into the game. Yeah. And there was this one thing, and I put it on Twitter, and Gabe, you haven't played it yet, right?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm trying to not say what it is because I kind of want you to just see it. But there's this thing that they do at the very beginning when you first boot it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the coolest things that I've ever seen any game do for me.
Really?
I think it was really, really cool. Yeah. And now I can't really quantify it and explain what I mean by that. So whether or not you'll feel that way, I don't know. But after you go through that, I'm curious to see what your thoughts on it. I thought it was amazing. I put it on my own personal Twitter. I was going to put it on Married to Games Twitter, but it was like, I don't want Gabe to see it.
So it was
I'll just
different
wait,
than
but
what they showed in the beta, like the scene that happens after you kind of do the first level.
What I'm talking about, what happened, it's the very first thing that boots up, but it's not necessarily game.
Oh, okay,
related.
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's about Destiny.
Do you mean the installing for all night?
Well, mine wasn't installing all night.
Because that's what happened when I started it up, and the server, like Chris is saying, the servers
no.
were so hammered that it took like I went to bed. Me and Jenny stayed up. I probably started downloading it at 10:30ish, and then started up it downloaded. I started up the game, and then it said like installing Destiny 2 and like migrating your stuff or whatever it needed to do. And I started that probably 10:45ish, and I went to bed at 2:30 in the morning, and I think it was at 14%.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yikes.
And so I just left it. I was like, well, I'm not playing that tonight.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's why you gotta, if you're gonna go digital, you gotta get that preload.
I know,
in there,
that's what I
man.
thought I was doing, because I
just booted it right at 11.
I did have
like,
it digital.
boom.
And so when I downloaded it, I thought that's what it was doing the first time around, because I wasn't really paying attention. I like set it to download, was like, this will take forever. So I left and came back and then started it up, and then it needed to do something else. So I was like, oh.
But when was the first time that you started the download? Was it that night?
The download, like from the store,
Tuesday night?
was that
Yes.
was that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, man, you
before,
gotta do it
before
earlier than
midnight.
Preloading was like 5 days before Destiny 2 even came out.
I
wow.
gotcha. Yep.
And most games are only like a day or two before, but this Destiny was like 5 days before. It was like, we're downloading. And it was all there and good and ready to go. So granted, had the servers wouldn't let me in at the right away. I had to wait like 10 minutes. But had that not been an issue, I would have been able to just boot it and go straight right away.
There we go.
So, and then it's been a while, obviously, since I bought a disc game, but Kale and them were like, okay, well, I know it's going to download the main game off of the disc, and then you're just going to have to download the day one patch. It downloaded the game off that disc ridiculously quick, way faster than I was expecting. I was like, I don't remember it going so fast. And then he just had the 6 gig like day one patch. It took about 40 minutes.
Good for
or so,
Kale and Katie.
or a little bit longer because we let Katie do it. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I mean, you can play it now. I guess
Exactly.
it's finally finished. I'm assuming.
Oh man.
But yeah, that intro piece is definitely like one of the coolest things that I've seen in gaming for me personally. I thought it was really, really awesome.
Is it like Up?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say it's like.
But
Up.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they lay it out so well at the very beginning that you're like, dang it, that was freaking banging.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Like, that's probably some of the best storytelling I've ever seen in a cartoon or a movie, period, was at the beginning of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Best 10 minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's what I'm feeling like it's going to be.
I don't want to lead you astray. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you'll see when you do it. You'll see when you do it. I don't want to say too much more.
Is there an old man? Is there balloons?
There's just a weird bird.
This weird bird keeps following it.
Right. I was watching someone play it online, and he had the same reaction as you, Chris. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear the guy's reaction to this because it's
Well, I
just
think I'm going to
gonna make me
stream it
happy."
right after this show.
Yeah.
So I'll
Oh,
watch
nice.
it.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all that that's all I wrote this week.
Ed Placencia,
Yes, sir.
what is going on with you?
Well, this weekend, they had the Labor Day weekend they have in the town of Auburn, Indiana. They have what's called the ACD Festival, which is the Auburn Cord Duesenberg.
Right.
That's ACDC. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
So close. So
You were
close.
almost had it.
One letter off. And
Everybody had been thinking that.
That's right. It's basically Auburn Cord and Duesenberg are all really old cars. And so they have this classic car festival every year. And this is actually the first year I've ever attended and, grew up here in the area and just never went. And it was really, really cool. They had a bunch of cars parked downtown in the town square. And just, it looked like Bonnie and Clyde meets every kind of cool classic car. They had a couple, like a Trans Am from 2006, and we were like, "Get
What?
out of here!
That's not that long
stupid.
ago.
We don't care."
That's
Exactly.
not antique.
Right. Sarah was really disappointed. She wanted to see either the Batmobile or the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
We saw neither one, but we did see a few. Was it Mustang, Chris?
Yes.
That's the car you like.
Yes.
And I was like, Chris, what kind of Mustang should I look for? And
He was like,
and he said,
Sally,
if there's any
look for Mustang Sally.
look for Mustang Sally. Exactly.
But
Sorry, I'm a dad.
And he's like, anything with what was a Cobra? And I saw a few of those,
Ooh.
but kind of like when we were doing the Forza game and I didn't realize a Shelby was a
Oh, yes,
Mustang.
it is.
I saw Cobras and I was like, oh, that Cobra, that looks like a Mustang, but that's a Cobra. And then I saw Chris's text and was like, anything with a Cobra on it. I was like, oh, darn it. So I didn't take any pictures of that. Sorry, Chris.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to be
But,
faster on the response next time.
Oh, it was funny. But what was really cool is when we were downtown, we went to the coffee shop that's downtown and went in there, and the owner, Jeremiah, is behind the counter, and he says, oh, hey, I've got something for you, and hands me a gift card to Jeremiah's. And I was like, what is this? And he said, the mailman listens to the podcast.
What?
Ah, nice.
So apparently the mailman came in one day and was like, hey, does someone famous come in here a lot? And Jeremiah was like, no.
It's Auburn, Indiana. What do you think?
And he said, no, there's I listened to a podcast and there's a guy who he just moved here from Pennsylvania with his wife and they live in Fort Wayne. And Jeremiah said, oh, well, do you mean Eddie and Sarah? Because everyone here calls me Eddie instead of Ed. And he said, but they live here in Auburn. And the guy said, oh, well, his wife travels doing exercise. And Jeremiah said, yeah, that's Eddie and Sarah. They come in here. And Jeremiah said at that point, the mailman started treating Jeremiah special because he felt like he knew me.
Oh, my God.
So he said it was just really funny
Get
that this guy was really a fan of the show.
That
So a
is
big shout out to
incredible.
Corey the mailman.
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah. I never
man.
experienced that before. I thought that was so cool. So
that
was
is awesome.
Look at that.
Yeah. So thank you, Corey. I know, right?
You just
That
never
was so
know.
cool. So thank you for
Just never know.
thank you for the gift card, Corey. We definitely appreciated that. It was a nice surprise.
Dang it.
Yeah. So we got some free cookies out of it.
I know that's right.
Hey.
Good deal.
I like Krispy Kreme
Love some cookies.
if my mailman's listening.
There you go.
That's right.
I like Guinness if mine's listening.
Guinness.
Oh,
Let's see. Gaming wise,
that's funny.
still kind of the same. Family Guy, The Simpsons, Balls, still trying to beat Stansel's impossible to beat record.
Yeah, why even? That can't be a goal.
I know.
I think he cheated.
I know. He had to have cheated. I
Yep.
don't understand.
Has he even
it.
stopped playing yet?
I don't know if he has or not. I don't know what the deal is.
What is he at right now?
I know at E3 it was over 1,000.
Oh,
I thought he was
get
at like
outta here. He's
1,500.
Was that high?
I thought it
Now
was.
he's just showing off.
It was after when he went past 1,000. It was so unattainable. I didn't remember what the number was. So it
I
could
know
be
that's right.
past 1,500.
It must
It's the
take
same
like
as 1,000.
5 minutes to like finish
No,
the
no,
whole...
way longer. He says that he doesn't even play multiple levels. He'll play one level, start the balls going, set it down, and go do something else because it takes so long
Yeah,
to beat the
Oh,
level.
yeah, there you go.
That's so crazy.
Wow.
That is insane.
I know, right? It's so nuts.
Freaking Stancil.
Played a little bit more of Uncharted. Just kind of, I heard about this really cool trophy, and I was like, oh, I'll go get that trophy. So I went and got a little trophy for Uncharted.
Nice.
More Overwatch with the gang. It's been so much fun just playing that. Loving the new 4v4 deathmatch. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm
It's
actually
so
really
quick.
surprised how much you've taken to it. I thought it would be something you wouldn't really care for.
I think I just like because when you die, you respawn right there in the action.
Yeah, that's true.
And so when you play a regular game, it feels like it takes forever to get back to the action after you respawn. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. And then even the one versus everyone's all for your own self. Good luck, everyone. On the new map there, that's been a lot of fun. I like that. So yeah,
I can't believe they named it that.
Yeah, it's a long name. It's really doesn't roll off the tongue at all. But
That is not catchy.
it's been fun. It's not catchy. And then talking with some guys, I think Jeff Swan was the one that kind of spurred me on the Discord. I started up Recore again
What?
today.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah,
You mean Rage Quit Core?
Rage Quit Core.
Are you not feeling good?
I know, right?
Are you
The
ill?
rage started. Okay, I'll play this again.
I wish I would have known that
Rage
before I saw
started.
that cosplayer girl at PAX and punched her in the throat.
I know, right?
That's for Ed.
You don't know him, but this is for Eddie.
and he was just kind of talking about how they've released the definitive edition. I guess they had worked on some bugs like loading screens and lag, and I had said, well, that wasn't my problem. My problem was I was just really bad at the game. And there was a section that it kind of became like a platformer, and I'm just not good at platformers, and so I was just kind of really struggling, and that's mostly why I stopped. But I said, up until then, I was really having a good time, and really enjoying the game. And I realized, oh, you know what? The definitive edition, if you bought the first one, you were upgraded for free to the definitive edition.
Oh, really?
Oh wow,
And
that's nice.
Yeah, so I thought, well, if there's some extra stuff in there, maybe I'll pick it up and try it again. But because it's been actually almost exactly a year since I quit, I just started from the beginning, just so I could reassimilate myself and get everything going. And I'm having fun, but it's kind of like I know what's coming, so
Right.
so.
Well, good on you for the second effort, though, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I did go into one level that was very platformery that I remember having a really difficult time with last time, and I pretty much sailed through it this time. So hopefully that's a good sign that maybe in a year I've just gotten a little better with my dexterity and the joysticks and what have you, that maybe I'm a little bit better. So We'll see what happens. No promises.
The fact that you're even just playing it, though, is amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I've definitely considered picking up Assassin's Creed Chronicles again. There's been a few times where I've been like, I should give that another shot.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Wow.
I'm not playing Ori and the Blind Forest again, though.
That chapter is closed. Mhm.
Yeah, you need
Right.
to record how you get that one thing in Thornfell Swamp that you cut out of the previous one.
Right?
That is funny.
No, that's a...
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good
What
on
a good
you.
week.
I like it. That sounds great.
All right, Mr. Patillo.
Yeah.
Lay it on us, brother. Please lay it on
You
us.
know, it's funny. The story is so long, I almost don't feel like going into it.
Dude,
All right, cool.
there's so much to go into all of it.
Dude, there is so much. Okay, so right before I left, you guys remember I did that Hope for Houston event where I
Yes,
sang
yes.
and stuff like that. That went really good. We had a big goal, especially since it was so last minute. We were on the air for about an hour and a half. Our goal was $100,000 that we were trying to raise for Houston. We ended up raising over $207,000, you guys.
Oh,
Wow, that's awesome.
amazing.
It was awesome. So shout
That's
out to
amazing.
Natalie Grant. She's a CCM artist that put it all together. She called everybody personally, was like, will you come do this thing? We're Christians. This is what we're supposed to do. Let's not be who some people think we are, and let's be who we're
Right.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so we just did that. It was awesome. It was an awesome event to be a part of. I was so glad to have been able to do
that's
that.
great, man.
And there at that thing, there was this lady that was there. Her name's Candace, actually from Dallas. And she looked really familiar. I was like, why do I recognize that lady so much? And then as everybody was kind of going around the room talking, and she was there with Mandisa, and Mandisa goes, and this is Candace. She came in from Dallas. You guys might know her as the Chewbacca Mom.
Oh yeah, Candace.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chewbacca
beautiful.
Mom. Nice.
I was
Beautiful.
like, oh snap, Chewbacca Mom is here. So
That's awesome.
For anybody who doesn't know who that is, it was a lady who went and bought a Chewbacca mask for herself that when she opened her mouth, it would do the sound that Chewie would make. And she's just, yes, and she's just laughing hysterically through the whole thing. And it went viral for a little bit, and it was just really funny. And so it was just really weird, like seeing somebody from the internet that you're like, do I know you? But like,
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
And she was really sweet and sat and talked with us, and just a regular,
So cool.
lady, really nice.
Yeah.
So have you met her, Ed?
I haven't, but she's someone who she brought so much joy to people, and I was really afraid for the backlash.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it didn't happen.
Yeah. Like, what do you get mad about?
It just kind of went away.
Well, it was like so much joy, you couldn't even be mad.
Exactly. So yeah, I thought she was really cool.
Yeah, she went. So I think whatever year it was that she had her video that went crazy. I went to Dallas Comic Con that year, and she had gotten tickets to go out there, and she was like a personal guest of Peter Mayhew out there. And she was going to be there on the Sunday, and I went the Saturday. I was like, man, I kind of really just want to come away from this meeting Chewbacca Mom, but she's here tomorrow, and I'm only here today.
Oh, yeah. Right. Well, you missed out because she's really sweet.
She seems like it.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool. And then we headed to PAX over the weekend, and just like, geez, so much happened. And I mean, it was an awesome time. I don't even know how to like wrap it all up. We got to go to.
Can you compare it to E3? Like, is it apples and oranges?
It was so different because we were there in servant mode, like me and Stancil. So the trip was all about Moses, Toby's son, and making sure that he had an amazing time. And that's what we set out to do. And also, I mean, obviously we're trying to, have fun on the side, but just being able to hang out with Stancil and stand with him and his family, like that was. I mean, it was just so awesome I always loved being around families. And so it was just fun being around his wife and two boys. And so that was great. And just like, really lifted my spirits. We were dog tired by the end of every day. We would gotta get back home. We're like, whew, all right. Okay. You're good. I'm good too. All right. Good night. And so we didn't hang out as much afterwards as we were wanting to. We didn't play any games. Like every day we were like, all right, tonight when we get home, we're playing games. And we were just like tired old men. And so it was great being out there with him. So to try to put it in a box, we got to go to Bungie that first day that we got there. And that was incredible. And walk around there, got shown around by Ira. Thank you, Ira. And so we did that. That was like super cool. Got to ask all kind of questions. And Ira
is Bungie out there, or was that like a Bungie booth at PAX?
No, actually Bungie.
No, Bungie's out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
you were in the actual building, right?
Yeah, we were actually at Bungie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so walking around, seeing all the old school Halo stuff and getting sort of the history of the company. And that was just really cool getting to see all that stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
And then went to PAX that same day. And just it is like E3, just like E3 Junior.
Right.
Where, it's a smaller area, so it feels like the same amount of people, but it's not. So the lines aren't as crazy. The only line that we didn't sit through was Monster Hunter World. That line was like 3 hours long. Wow. It was like just insanely long.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that was crazy.
Wow.
So we just tried to get, Moses on as many games as he could, and, waiting in line. And then some lines we got to skip since Moses is in a wheelchair, and it was hard to like navigate some of the, roped off areas. So you get like a little medical pass. So like, some lines you could kind of not skip the whole thing, but they kind of have you wait a little bit and then kind of get you in when they could, on the end or something like that where his chair would fit.
That's good.
And so
That's good. They're being accommodating.
yeah, exactly. So the games we got to play were Knack 2. We played a new version from the, what is it called? Play Link or Play? What's the thing where you play with each other on your cell phones for Sony?
Yeah, PlayLink.
PlayLink. So they had a new game called like Knowledge is Power or something like that, and it was a trivia game. So I was really glad Ed wasn't there because he would have destroyed us all in it. I still came in last, but at least I was tied with Toby for last. And so
was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It's not as good as That's You. And it's not as good as some of the games he was telling us about that were coming out. That sounded really, really cool. So I'm excited to see the future of PlayLink. That'll be awesome. We got to play. I played a little Lost Legacy because it was there. Only for a second though, because it was like a big map and you could have done all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. Got to play Far Cry 5.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
That was really fun. Felt great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Looked good. Line was long.
Nice.
Got to play Shadow of War, the new
Yes.
Very
Shadow
nice.
of Mordor game. That was awesome. And so they have a new thing on this one where you can like attack a base with all your recruited orcs.
Yep.
And so like you set up and just attack the whole base. And so I did that, and that was just like grueling and hard, but awesome. And it was just, trying to get the buttons down again. You're like, okay, wait, how does this work? Because it's been so long since I played Shadow of Mordor. Got to play Mario Odyssey finally. So I was, waited in line for that. That line wasn't half as long as it was for E3. It was like, 35 minutes or something like that. Where at E3 it was, what was it, like 5 hours long or something crazy where that was the only thing you could do in the day, something stupid. So got to play that, played Pokken Tournament, played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Is that the one you played at E3?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they were.
We played the demo.
Yes, but I let we had Moses play it. I just watched. I didn't play it.
Oh, okay.
We got to play. It's so hard to remember everything because it's just so much. You're just running around trying to do as much as you can. We got him on H1Z1 a bunch. He got on PUBG,
nice.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Was there a game that really stood out to you, or surprised you, or took you by surprise?
I was really glad to play Shadow of War and Far Cry 5. Those were the two that probably stuck out the most to me. Got to meet up with the Able Gamers guys and the Game Church guys. Always go by and show love to them. Walked around the indie booths and saw what was going on. Exploding Kittens had this huge booth, which was kind of cool since they're a card game.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
And then we got to go to 343, which was awesome, who makes the Halo games now. And they have a Halo museum there.
Yeah.
That, spans from the first one to now with all like, the stuff from the TV show and things. And so that was really cool to go see and talk to Marcellus. He showed us around. Thank you, Marcellus. He's an animator there. And then hearing these guys' stories, these animators, hearing, how they got their jobs, the testing they had to do to get their jobs is really cool stories to sit and listen to. And then like, I say the Lord just put them on my heart all of a sudden. So I was there kind of enthralled in the whole thing. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, Matt Leidy. And so I called Matt Leidy on the phone and I was like, hey, so I'm standing in the middle of 343. He's like, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am.
Nice.
I was like, I'm here with one of the animators that worked on 4 and 5. Do you have a question for him? So I kind of put him on speakerphone and he talked to Marcellus
awesome.
for a minute. He was
that's great.
Totally,
man.
That's so
he was
cool,
totally fanboying out, and so he was like couldn't even remember his
I love
question.
it.
He was like, oh shoot, I did
love
have a
it.
question. What was it?
That's
So
awesome.
that was fun.
That's so
I
cool.
love
That's awesome of you,
To
man.
hear him fumble around. So it was just a really, really great trip. I'm definitely leaving some games out, but like
Good.
just overall, it was exhausting, but it was also like exhilarating all at the same time. Just to be there in Seattle, be there with Stancil, be there with Moses and Toby, and then Moses' brother Truett, Toby's oldest, flew up from college. He's down at Pepperdine, and so him being there, and Moses' cousin came down from Portland or up. And so it was just like, it was a family affair, and it was just really, really cool. And it was like it was a great time. So on the way home, I said, all right, Moses, 0 to 10. how did we do? How was it? Did you enjoy it? And he said 11. There's no math you could do to explain how good this weekend was.
Oh, it's great.
That's
man.
awesome.
That's all
That's
that
the
matters.
that's
So
the whole
cool.
point, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Was it weird
That's
to be
amazing.
with Toby and not have like a super crazy like tour schedule to keep an eye on?
I was still serving a McKeon,
Yeah.
so it felt normal.
Yeah.
And it was
That sounds about right.
exactly. So, but what was really cool was watching Toby dig deep and be there with Moses and be involved and be interested. Gaming is not Toby's thing at all. So it's so funny to see him put things on Instagram, where he's like, Gabe showed us the ropes at PAX West, and he's like on a dragon from Shadow of War or whatever, taking pictures. And everybody's
Yeah,
like,
that's
Toby,
awesome.
you're a gamer. And I always want to go on there and be like, no, he's not, but I just leave it alone. But it was just
You can think that if you want.
right. It was just fun to be there with him and
so
watch
funny.
him. Because with Moses being in a wheelchair, he doesn't get to just like come on the bus whenever, like the other guys do. And so it was really cool to be able to take a weekend out and just give it to Moses, and him have that one-on-one time.
That's
awesome.
great, man.
Yeah, so it was awesome. And then
He needs that, and that's amazing.
the weather was beautiful while we were there, so just walking around and all that was just so great. And
Good.
so it was just a really good time. And I gotta give a shout out to my wife, because Sunday was the 3rd. Sunday was the 3rd of September.
Yep.
And that's her birthday.
Oh, wow.
And so she let me go and leave and was here with the kids holding it down like she always does.
Mm-hmm.
So big shout out goes to my wife. She's not obviously listening to the show. But just to
She
show
might
you
be.
guys the servant attitude she has, definitely towards, because she was, for those that don't know, Jenny was Toby's nanny, and that's how I met her.
Yeah.
Was because she was working at the McKeons.
Right.
And so
Right.
she's got obviously a special place in her heart for Moses and all the kids.
Mhm.
So when I brought it up, I was like, babe, we've got this great idea for Moses. The only problem is it's over the weekend of your birthday. And she goes, baby, if it's for Moses, you got to go.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's
So cool.
awesome.
So that was really, really cool.
That's great.
That she let me do that. Because if she said no, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Like if she's like, babe, I'd like for you to be here for my birthday. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
But she gave it up. So thanks, babe, for letting me go.
Yeah. It's a good woman there.
And yeah, exactly. And then like Chris was saying, tried to get home and play some Destiny yesterday. That wasn't happening. But I'm really excited to play it, and especially with him talking about the beginning, it's got me all psyched to get into it. So, all right.
Nice.
That's great, man.
And our thoughts and prayers are obviously still with Houston,
Mhm.
but it's also with the Dominican Republic and the
Oh my
Caribbean.
gosh, and it's
and
heading
all
right
these
towards
guys,
Florida too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
It's heading right towards Florida. So we've canceled all our Disney plans. We're not taking everybody to Disney.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, because
Is Night of Joy still on, or did they cancel it?
Night of Joy is still on because it's on Friday, and they think that it'll hit landfall on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And so we'll still run down, do our show, and run back home Friday night. So it'll probably rain on us a bit and stuff like that, but hopefully it won't be too crazy. So go try to, as Toby says, drop the joy bomb on Orlando before we have to
Yeah, before you have to
get
get
back,
out
and they
there.
have to batten down the hatches. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks that that's all canceled, but I'd rather cancel it thinking that it's going to be awful
Right.
than first world problems for sure.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
There it
That's
is.
it.
That was good.
I think
That was great, man.
All
Thanks
right.
for
That was
sharing
okay?
that. That's
Not too
awesome.
Yeah.
long? All right.
No, not at all.
What are you worried about?
Tell us
Come on now.
everything, man.
Okay.
Yeah. we got time.
All right.
We're living vicariously through you this entire last week.
Exactly.
I know it was really cool. I was glad to be able to go, and I got to meet up with Bo from the community and an old dark legend
Nice.
from the community. So then I missed some people, so that was kind of sucked. But it was nice to know that Married to the Games was there and represented.
Yeah.
And I thought
Yeah.
that was really fun to be able to run into people and
Yeah.
think in the back of our minds, kind of like Ed saying, like, you just never know who listens. You don't know where we all are.
Yeah.
And it's nice to think that, like, that we're represented at all the cons. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That,
Yeah.
with running into Zach
in
and Bo.
some form or fashion.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, I hope, it's good to know that Married to the Games people are holding it down all over the place.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's pretty cool.
So Zach and Bo, shout outs, man. Good to see you guys. Good hanging for sure.
Man, that's awesome.
Okay, seriously, I'm done now. All right.
Sure.
I'm done for the rest of the show. Tim, you got it?
Bring it.
Well, let's do it!
All right. The release that everybody has been anticipating. Blood Bowl 2 Legendary Edition for the Xbox One and
Yes.
PS4 is now out. The sequel to Blood Bowl.
I'm streaming 24-hour stream starting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Of course, it's Destiny 2, baby. PS4, Xbox One, PC out. Go get it and download it for about 5-6 hours, and then you'll be fine
Exactly.
if the servers aren't crashing. Also, Knack 2 for the PS4. Lego Worlds.
That's
for the
out?
Yep. Came out
It
this
came out
week.
Tuesday.
I didn't know it was
think,
out
right?
already.
Yep.
Such a weird week, like a Tuesday release, a Wednesday release.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We'll have some
they're-
Friday releases.
Yeah, and then you got a whole mixture now. You never know when something's going to release.
That's for sure.
Lego Worlds for the Nintendo Switch. Battlefield 1 in the Name of the Tsar for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. A little more DLC
In
for
the
you.
name of Zod.
That's so what I wanted to sing, but I knew it would be horrible.
Okay. All right, there it is. We've got Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 The Sabotage for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And then a couple Nintendo Switches. The Bridge. The Bridge. For
The
the
bridge is
Nintendo
over.
Switch. The Bridge is over. And Double Dragon 4 for the Nintendo Switch. And Splatoon 2 Neon Green, Neon Pink Nintendo Switch console bundle comes out for the Switch this week as well.
There you go.
Obviously, we do not have NPD for August yet. That's probably in 2 weeks. We had one oops over on Twitter at Midnight Dan. Gabe in The Little Mermaid, the king's name is King Triton, not Trident.
Oh,
yeah. Hashtag father of 3 girls.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Amen to that.
Yeah, Trident is a gum,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes, Trident is
Yes,
a
it
gum.
is.
Yes. And-
Triton.
yes, King Triton.
but he holds a trident. Is that right?
But yeah, it's
Yes.
exactly right. So you're in the wheelhouse. It's fine.
so close.
I was in the vicinity.
Yes.
You were.
Yeah.
You were in the vicinity. So, and that's it for me. Back to you guys.
Chris McCracken.
Well, I'm going to start out with a little bit of a follow-up. We had talked about how Games Done Quick was going to be putting on a little stream kind of last minute. They were trying to do some benefits for the Hurricane Harvey stuff, and we finally know the numbers that they brought in. They brought in $225,000 over their one weekend stream for the
Wow.
Houston Food Bank, which
Good.
and it was really, really like pretty last minute for them. They're usually putting things on a little bit earlier and promoting and everything. And this, with everything that had just happened so quickly, they
Sure.
put it on really quick and they were still able to just bring in tons of money. So kudos to them for all that they were able
That's
to do.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good turnout for them. for
Oh,
all
and I
the-
got to tell you too, Chris. Like,
Yes.
we're doing another. We're going to be a part of another thing for Houston on the 20th, and we're going to be in Dallas.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
you are.
Awesome.
Coming to see you, baby. So get your talking voice on. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
and
know how
I gotta be like, hey, so Kale, can Gabe sleep on the floor in the office? Is that cool?
Yeah, exactly right.
Looking forward to it.
That is awesome that they brought in that. I love that so much.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Also kind of tagging on to something we talked about last week with PUBG and them killing it on Steam. They have eclipsed. I don't know if we talked about this last week. I don't remember if we did or not, but they eclipsed 10 million people.
Oh no,
Wow.
I didn't know
Did
that.
we talk about that? 10 million.
Wow.
And what's so cool about this is we got to remember that these are all like this and like H1. These are all like pre-release
Yeah,
type games that,
Yeah.
that people are putting out there and just murdering it. And so it really shows that graphics and gameplay can not be the crux of what makes a
Mhm.
game amazing.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It comes down to maybe what you're doing and how they set it up, because like especially with H1 they were constantly updating it because things were like just broken all the time. And I haven't played PUBG yet, which I'm going to when it releases for Xbox and play it on the PC. But it's just really cool to see guys put out a great idea, even if it's not fully there, and seeing the community get behind it in this way. And I mean, 10 million, that's insane. Like you have to understand, in music, where we used to go diamond and things like that, which was 10 million units sold, like we're begging to sell like 1 million nowadays,
right.
because music's free and people are streaming all over the place. And so for gaming to still be just murdering it in this way, I just love that.
Yeah, really.
And I love it for the guys that had the idea originally, because I think PUBG is one of the H1Z1 guys, right?
Okay, really?
Oh, I didn't know.
I think so. I mean, that's probably an oops, but I ain't scared no oops. So I just thought that was awesome that they'd reached 10 million players. It's just hats off to those guys. Have a great idea, execute it fairly well. I know PUBG is, they say, further along in its launch than obviously H1Z1 was, but H1Z1 also in its heyday was killing it too. So good for those guys. I love that.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
that seems cool.
Chris?
So earlier this year, we had gotten the news that Monolith Studios, the team that is making they made Shadow of Mordor and they're making Shadow of War, that their executive producer had passed away. Michael, I think it's 4G is how you say it, Forgey. I'm not really sure. But they came out and announced recently that they are going to be memorializing him in the game as a downloadable comrade that you can get inside of Shadow of War.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to be
sick.
named
Great idea.
Forthog the Orc Slayer, and he's going to be a powerful orc hunter who will randomly arrive and aid a player and kill foes with a single swipe of his mighty axe.
Yes.
Love it.
And yeah, and it looks
Great
really
idea.
cool. There's a few different videos and little GIFs showing off what his character model is going to look like. And it is a paid download piece of DLC. It's $4.99, but of that, $3.50 of that purchase price will go directly to his family. And they're going to be doing those donations all the way through December 31st, 2019.
Man, that's
that's
yeah.
cool.
People loving people.
Yeah,
Can we get some?
and
I love
his
that.
character looks really, really cool in these little animated GIFs and stuff that I've seen. So I think it's definitely one of those pieces of DLC that's like, this is a no-brainer. You know, not only will it help you out in the game, but it's a really cool thing to do, and it's helping out his family, and and obviously still in a really tough time.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Good move, Monolith.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Good on you.
I see you. I ain't mad at that at all.
Right?
Switching gears a little bit. So Mario, he has, I didn't know this, but he's got a character page like that gives you information about who Mario is on nintendo.co.jp.
Okay.
And he's no longer a plumber.
What?
What is he?
Yep, no longer a plumber. You know what?
Princess Saver?
So I had to translate this from Japanese. So this is going to sound extremely weird, but I'll just read you
please bring it. Yep.
his info. Here we go. Mario, cheerful and just, buckle up.
Already excited.
Yeah, Mario, cheerful and cheerful, everyone's popular. Twin brother Luigi.
Keep
Please
going.
make this
I know,
into a
that's-
song.
Keep going.
That's the first sentence. It sounds like a DDR song, doesn't it, Ed?
It totally does.
Okay. Cheerful and cheerful, everyone's popular. Twin brother Luigi is a good friend and a name combination. With sports utility, I will do everything cool. Tennis, baseball, soccer,
I will
and
do
car
everything
racing.
cool.
Actually, there seems to have been work on Plumber long ago. I love Peach Princess, and if Princess Peach is in trouble, I will go help at any time. We will face bad Coopers with good jumps and a various power-ups.
This is incredible.
So that's everything you need to know about Mario.
Yeah.
That's his
All
that's his
right.
Match.com. It's his Match.com bio.
This is a worksheet that Piper would take home from kindergarten.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, tell us a little something about yourself, Piper. She's like, oh, I'm a cheerful and cheerful. Everyone's popular.
Exactly.
I'm going to swipe left on that one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I love that. I was like, oh, that is too perfect.
So funny.
So there you go. No longer a plumber, but he's cheerful and cheerful.
But there was plumbing at one time.
There was plumbing at
something
one
like
time, though. Yes, but now he does everything cool, like tennis, baseball, soccer, and car racing.
Interesting.
Well, sure. Now he's an Olympian,
he
apparently.
does everything cool.
I don't know why. With sports
What's your
utility.
occupation? Everything cool.
I do everything
Exactly.
cool. Little sports utility under special skills.
That's what we need to start saying.
That's my job
My name is
title.
Gabe Patilla, and I do everything cool.
Exactly. Oh,
Oh,
that is
man.
amazing.
Yeah. What else you
That's
got,
awesome.
Christopher?
So back in the day, EA used to do. They had the license for the Lord of the Rings franchise stuff based off of the movie properties, and they had been come out with this RTS called Battle for Middle Earth. And I loved this game back in the day when it came out. It was one of the few PC games I ever actually bought with my own money and played. And I played the mess out of it all the time. Well, it's long been gone because EA no longer has the rights to the Lord of the Rings franchise. It's gone over to WB, which is the people who make they're supporting Monolith to make that game, the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. But a couple of fans have taken to modding the game and bringing it up to an HD status and redoing all of the character models to where they're not only in higher resolution, but they even more so resemble the characters from the actual film series. And I just think
wow.
this is amazing because they just put all the assets out there and you can download them all. And there is a server that's out there called T3A Online. It's the server that they're using to keep the game alive because it was pulled from EA servers and all their official servers shut down in 2010. But they're still keeping it alive in this personal server that they have going. And when I saw all these character models, it just made me want to go back and play this game so bad. Of course, I can't because I don't have a PC. But oh my gosh, you have no idea how many hours I lost to this game. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Did any of you guys ever get into an RTS game or a game of that sort at all?
No.
Yeah, I played RTS would be like StarCraft, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
real time
StarCraft,
strategy where you had to do
StarCraft
like base building and you create soldiers and then you have to go battle or you have to defend an area.
Yep.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
I thought it was just so cool when I saw all these because you have to go look it up. Anybody who's interested because the character models. In my head, I remember it looking like such a cool, like it looked so good. But now I look and I was like, oh man, that looks like
Especially
crap.
with them side by side, because I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, he looks way better than I probably would have remembered him looking.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, it makes me want to go back and find some way to play this so badly. I'm so
you
happy
can run
to
that
see
old
this.
Windows on them Macs, Doc.
Yeah, I can. I should probably. And I actually still have my copy of Battle for Middle Earth. I have the disc for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Back
That's
when you were
awesome.
buying discs.
Yep, sure was.
Right?
Digital wasn't a thing back then.
So Activision CEO Eric Hirschberg, I'm guessing,
Yep.
told Game Informer, and I thought this was really interesting, and I quote, "First of all, there was a time not too long ago when everybody in the Call of Duty community was fatigued with modern shooters and was asking for innovation and asking for new experiences. And that's what led us to start experimenting with taking the franchise into the future in the first place."
That's true.
He said, "I think with the benefit of hindsight, we can all agree we might have had one more future game than we needed."
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. I love when people kind of own up to maybe not doing something that was, that they should have done. And
As
so
do I.
obviously, right. And me and
Looking
Chris
at you,
have obviously
Nintendo.
talked about, your
Never
turn.
owning up to nothing.
They're like the president. Like the president usually will never say, and I'm not talking about this
Exactly.
president, I'm talking about presidents, period. It's like, it might be like in the bylaws, like that when they sign in,
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
all right, you're the president now. You can never say that you made a mistake ever.
Right.
Yep.
But these guys are owning up to it. And like me and Chris were saying, we cannot wait to play Call of Duty World War II. It looks awesome. Definitely back at their roots.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that Activision as a whole is saying like, hey, listen, Infinite Warfare, we might not should have done. But I think too at the same time, though, it makes you appreciate World War II even that much more because of maybe the faux pas that they made. And, they still made money and stuff. But like,
I was going to say, like, this is not like this. They're not necessarily apologizing for it. They're just being like, look, I think we just went a little overboard. They still made money hand over fist. So like,
oh yeah. But they definitely knew that the reception was like, wah, wah,
right.
wah.
I do like that they acknowledge it and be like, look, we're going back to square one and it'll be a lot better. And we've learned our lesson.
Yeah.
All the while still making tons and tons of money.
Exactly. But doing it right, I think it's
Right.
awesome, and I'm so glad
I
they're doing
agree.
this because
Yeah, really.
this will actually be my first Call of Duty that's not modern or future, and so this will be my first Call of Duty that's.
Oh wow.
Oh, really? So you never
So I'm
played
returning
World
to
at
their
War or
roots.
any of those?
Nope, I'm returning to their roots as well,
Nice.
Very
That's
nice.
great,
time.
man.
and I'm excited about it. What else, Christopher?
Okay, so the last story that I have is there's a UK developer called Simbin Studios, and they've announced the first women's only esports car racing competition. It's called Women in Wheels, and it's a limited time competition that launches on Steam this autumn, and they're going to donate a percentage of the revenue to female-focused charities that aim to provide supportive female-friendly environment and encourages more women to play esports while drawing attention to the often hidden role that women in racing and automotive history. And so I thought that was really
sick.
cool that they're just having like a women-focused
cool.
only esports competition.
Yeah.
Because that's just, you hear that all over the places like, oh, girls don't play games as much. But it's like, man, they are out there and they play a lot of games. And I like the things like this that are going to really shine a spotlight on and be like, see, women are gamers too. Games, everybody loves games. Games do not discriminate. Games are for everybody.
Yeah,
So
I like
preach
that.
it. Preach
Right.
it.
So good on you, Simbin Studios.
Exactly. They'll be like, I'll be Danica Kirkpatrick. I'll be Danica Kirkpatrick. I'll be Danica Kirkpatrick.
I'll be Canepa
I'm just kidding. There's more women in racing than that. I'm just joking. So the CEO from Gearbox said during PAX, 90% of Gearbox development team is, quote, working on the thing I think most of you guys want us to be working on. So in not so many words, it sounds like Borderlands 3 is coming.
Right.
And they're working on it.
Yes, sir.
And so there you go, Tim.
Yep.
Have fun.
I'm in. I will.
Do that.
Shoot me in the face. Shoot me in the face.
Nice.
And I'll probably be along on the ride with you. Just
You'll
because.
just be ho-humming in the background.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
I will not be there.
Yeah, I will
No, you
take
won't.
this. I will take this journey alone. Thank you.
And then I guess the other 10% is working on a project. They're calling it Project 1v1, but they're working on a 1v1 shooter.
Huh.
1v1.
Curious.
Very curious. But only 10% of them. So, don't be curious for another. You can be curious for like 5 years. Gotta get Borderlands 3 out first.
Well, when it's only one person connecting to one other person, there's less netcode. You don't need as many people doing it.
That's true.
Exactly.
No, that's true.
But hopefully hopefully people don't just camp the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, well, this match was 23 hours long.
Yep.
We had 2 campers in our midst. But I thought 1v1 was interesting. I don't know if I've ever played a 1v1, like besides like, I play Rocket League 1v1, but like there's not a lot of games, outside of just regular fighting games that are 1v1. And even those things are like tag team nowadays.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of
I thought
games that
was
have maybe
pretty
a
cool.
1v1 mode, but not the entire game is that, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if they'll come up off it or just keep it 1v1, but we'll see. They do
Right.
good stuff over there.
Mm.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, they do. Good stuff.
Ed Placencia.
Yeah.
Ed Placencia.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to lay some stuff on
Yeah.
us?
Yeah. Over on the old YouTube channel, looking at nothing new this week. So you've got plenty of time to go back and catch up on all the videos that you haven't watched yet.
How many are there, you think, about, if you were to just guess?
If I was to just guess, I would say 1,100
Videos?
Woo.
videos.
You'd be wrong.
I would.
Yeah,
I'm going to say 23.
2,300?
Was it like 18?
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I just know it's not 1,100.
I thought you had the
Oh.
actual number there.
I did too. I thought you were looking at it.
Sorry,
Oh,
no, I'm not looking
I was
at
pretty. I was pretty close. Oh no, wait, that's Sarah's.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Nice try.
Oh wow, what was my second guess?
it. 23.
23. What's
Yes.
Are you there looking at it, Gabe?
No, I'm not.
What do you guess?
We're at 2,200.
2,200, you think?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And I'm
I
not
would
looking
guess-
at the page.
I'll just say 3,000.
Chris?
$1. I say 25.
2765.
Oh,
2765 is a good.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
So 2,300
That's
closest
insane.
without going over.
Yeah. So you got some catching up to do, everybody. So we specifically on purpose didn't put up any new videos this week, so you could go watch some of the older ones.
Just so you could catch
there
up.
you go.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Get
Call
on
us Netflix.
That's right. Looking at our top 10 for this past week, combining the average watch time and views for the week of August 29th through September 4th. Number 10, Sniper Elite 4, Part 3, San Celini Island, Destroy Cameras.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Shoot them in the face.
Yeah. Your dreams were your ticket out.
That's right. Number 9, Watch Dogs 2, Part 6, Bottom Dollar Complete. Number 8, Watch Dogs 2, Part 5, Bottom Dollar Fail. Number 7, Married to the Games, Episode 259, Cancer Free.
Cancer
still makes me happy.
free.
That
Love
made
it.
me
Love
so
it.
happy. Thank you, Gabe. That was great.
Yeah, buddy.
Number 6, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh,
What?
Lord.
Wow.
I'm
Happened?
How
off
the
my
mighty hath
game.
fallen.
Oh,
That's
What's
it. I'm-
going on?
my
That's all I'm
pride.
doing tonight is watching that video. I'm watching it over and over again. We're gonna get this back up.
What
We're
the
gonna
freak?
get this
What the
back up.
freak? What the freak?
Yeah, tune that joke up.
Number 5, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14.
Don't swamp.
Don't fell swamp.
Oh man, I'm not even entering into that.
I did that
Okay.
on purpose.
Number 4, wasn't this free somewhere? Hue, the game? Wasn't it just one of a somewhere?
Yes,
I think on
that's right.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So number 4,
was it
Hue
PlayStation?
Part 10. I think that's right.
What
Oh,
next?
it was like the Vita, I believe. The PS Vita. I think that
There you
was
go.
it. Yeah. Yeah, Hue, the PS Vita. So number 4, Hue Part 10, University. That explains that. Number 3, Hue Part 11, the ending. Well done, cheaters. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Paint Job.
Yes.
And number 1, Watch Dogs 2, Part 48, Ghost Signals.
Those signals. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Look
Represent.
at that. Represent.
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, have you ever become real life friends with someone you met through gaming?
I love these.
Even though I worded it wrong in the question of the week. Sorry. Starting over on some of these are a little long, so just stick with us.
If they're worth it.
Starting over on the forum, Lucas Ham Swisher. I most certainly have made a real life friend in gaming, and his name is Paolo Vinicius. Or as you know him, the mighty Paolo.
Right?
I first heard of him through the crazy questions he would ask on the show, and being as we were the first two Brazilian residents to listen to the show that I knew of, I thought we
Nice.
should get to know one another. So I started talking to him on Twitter and even connected on the PSN so we could play some Borderlands 2 from time to time. Once I discovered that we lived only an hour away, I decided to visit him. And thankfully, he wasn't a crazy psychopath, and my wife fears that I was going to get kidnapped or killed by some random dude on the internet did not come true. He is truly my Brazilian brother from another mother, and even though he now lives 12 plus hours away, he lives in my heart as my brother in Christ forever, and that is all thanks to the MTTG community, the number one community
man.
that money can't buy.
That's
love
awesome.
it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Wow, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Man, Brazil is big. 12 hours away. That's a
Yeah.
drive.
Right?
Over on, let's see, I guess we'll jump over to Discord, even though I clicked away from it. All right, here we go. Original IG. I met someone I would consider a really good friend on a Witcher fanboy Facebook page. At first, we just posted and
That's what I'm talking about.
kept. At first, we just posted and kept
What
each
you know
other.
about Skellige?
Right. At first, we just posted and kept each other updated on our progress, but as the game concluded, we kind of had that, so what do you want to play next mentality. We ended up playing a few co-op games together and became so close that we swapped numbers, you know, for that midnight, you want to get into Rocket League text.
Nice.
And at one point, we even got our wives involved. Overcooked anyone?
Nice. Very nice.
Although we have never
Nice.
physically met, we send Christmas cards and speak to each other quite often through text, voice, and online via PSN. Pretty sure he's a member of the community too. So if you're listening, Steve, love you, bro. Let's get on that Destiny 2.
There you go.
That's awesome. I love
Gosh, isn't that the best?
that. I love hearing these.
I know. Shep Dog. I met one of my best friends while playing Call of Duty 2 at college LAN parties housed in a campus computer lab. At first, we weren't anything more than kill-death ratios on a deathmatch scoreboard. Friday night after Friday night, we would shout and laugh while blasting each other in the face with shotguns. After many Friday night parties, he referred me to my first IT help desk job that set me on my current career in healthcare IT.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
10 years later, we no longer work together, but hang out and play games regularly. It's always fun to play the what if game. Where would I be today if I never went to one of those LAN parties to play video games with a bunch of people I didn't know?
Yep.
Man, that's good.
That's so cool.
Let's see. Bad Gamer Elite, historian.
Oh, hey.
Historian.
I was a solo gamer for a long time, never really daring to venture into the wilds of online gameplay. I would stick my head into a Halo lobby and have it blown off by a 12-year-old and not return for
Exactly.
weeks. Then I found Disney Infinity for me and my kids. It was so much fun, but I was lost. I decided to check YouTube. I found Disney Infinity TV from the Res.TV network. I watched the show and found out they did live shows, so I showed up for one and another and another. These were parents like me who loved gaming and wanted to share. I became a fan and wanted to follow them on Instagram and Twitter. They had very little representation. I reached out to Will and told him I could do their social media, and he agreed. Lloyd, Ben, Logan, Pirate Steve, and Steve C, Jason, Sarah, and the rest of the core team have become like brothers and sisters to me. The core fans are like the cousins you can't wait to see again. Because of that experience, I felt good about joining in here. You guys are awesome. This community has welcomed me and others with open arms. I know it's a good community when I'm playing with BDog1221 for the first time, and he's ribbing me like we've been playing for years.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I found more brothers, sisters, and cousins to hang out with. Oh,
That's awesome.
Man, I
Wow.
love that, man.
Isn't that
Come
the
on.
best? Sheesh Louise. Over on Facebook,
Historian?
Daniel Allen. Yeah, exactly. Over on Facebook, Daniel Allen. Nope.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Huh.
There's got to be one. Spencer
I don't
Stapleton.
know.
No, I'm saying there's got to be one guy that's not met anybody.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spencer Stapleton, the year. Oh, sorry. The year was 2009.
Mm.
There we go.
I decided to play World of Warcraft with a buddy of mine. Throughout the next year, I met a handful of people through a guild that would all become friends of mine. We would talk outside of the game. We would celebrate when someone got a new job or found a new love. As the years went on, many of us stopped playing World of Warcraft, but we still remained close. When my wife and I had our first kid, a bunch of my friends from World of Warcraft sent us baby gifts. When my friend Rorik got really sick with cancer, I spent many nights talking to him on the phone. When he passed away a short time later, we held a memorial service with him online where many of his gaming friends and family got together and shared stories about him and the good times they had with him. My life has changed in many ways since 2009, but the friendships remain. P.S. I consider all four of you friends. If any of you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I look forward to seeing you all at 300 and having a good time. Spencer
Oh,
Stapleton,
yeah.
Street Team.
Street
There it is. Street team.
Gabe likes those Krispy Kremes.
I do. See
That's right.
you at
I like
300.
that Guinness.
You're welcome, Gabe.
Yep, appreciate you. Bo Mainery. Yes, some really good friends and close friends now. I know, not a big story here, just a simple answer from a tired dad.
Ah.
That's great. Over on Twitter, Nick Cooper at Nick_A_Cooper made some great Rocket League friends. Wait, made some great real life friends through StarCraft 2. Drove me to start mediocre Chicago gamers to encourage meetup and LAN parties.
That's cool.
MCG represents hard, man. They're good friends for sure. Jeff the Android at Remake Yourself. I mean, I drove to Nashville twice to hang out with a bunch of gaming nerds, and I wouldn't call them all enemies. I wouldn't call them
Nice.
all enemies.
Well, thank you.
That means some of you, though, definitely
Right.
enemies.
Darn it.
Michael McCarran actually met my wife through World of Warcraft,
What?
through a mutual friend.
Nice.
His wife.
Wow.
I like that. Hold her close.
Right?
Don't let her go. If you met her in World of Warcraft, that's awesome. So we can say, wow. Sorry, guys. World of
I was
Warcraft,
like,
they call it wow.
Night show. What?
Yeah, night show. Sorry.
Right?
Thank you guys so much for the answers. Those are such good answers. I love hearing that people are coming together through gaming and like forming stronger, deeper bonds. And I'm glad that Married to the Games would have had anything to do with any of those. That's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate it. You guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, over at marriedtothegames.com/forums. And as Ed said, youtube.com/Married to the Games. And on Patreon, patreon.com/MTTG.
Nice.
And let's see. Ooh, let me spin the wheel. Hold on a second. Doot, doot.
Uh-oh. That wheel took off.
Wow.
I put my back into it. Doot, 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 Chris McCracken.
Rate us on iTunes, and we'll continue to do everything cool.
Ooh, yeah, we will.
Like
oh,
that.
yeah.
Here we go.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, before we get into the questions, we just need to lift up our boy Bobby Trice over on Discord. We got some news today. His wife's car got stolen.
What?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he had to get a locksmith because there was an extra set of keys in the car. And man, we're just lifting you up, man. That totally sucks. And already our community's rallying around him. Keep your head up, man. It's all good.
That
And we're thinking and
sucks.
praying for
Absolutely,
you, man.
sir.
It's just
Yeah.
this is awful. So I feel really, really bad, and I wanted to give you a shout out for that. So I'm sorry, people suck. How about
Yeah,
that?
Exactly.
exactly, Bo.
I know, right?
I'm thinking about you,
I
man.
just met Bo, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doggone it. It wasn't me, Bo. Just so you know. In case you were wondering.
Oh, that's a weird coincidence. Huh.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Funny thing.
Exactly.
That's great. That's
He did
great.
say on the bright side, he got his Destiny 2 PS4 in.
Yeah,
See,
he
There you
did.
positive
go.
attitude.
Right?
I love that. Keep up that positive attitude. That is awesome.
There you go.
All right, let's start at Discord. Nova Beyond. What sound, noise, or phrase in gaming do you love? I'm partial to EA's It's in the Game, the original PlayStation
Yeah.
booting up, and Sega when booting up Sonic.
It was Sega.
Whatever.
Oh, you know what? Chris, you start. You're into sounds.
Well, the EA one, the EA Sports to the game. I mean, that's just like always embedded in my brain, even though I really don't even play sports games and haven't in years. That just sticks in there like crazy.
Yeah, it does. I would have to say I don't even know what sound it is, but the surprise sound in Metal Gear Solid. Vret!
Oh, yeah, that one's good too.
You just
That's a
made
good
Chris's
one.
night.
Exclamation point.
Exactly. I've heard it so many times on people's phones, and I always want to like run up and talk to him like a weirdo, but I don't.
Yeah, it's my reminder sound whenever like a meeting's coming up.
Vret!
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
I love that sound. Ed?
Yeah.
I kind of get them mixed up. And so whenever the Xbox One boots up, it kind of does that wong.
Ooh,
And I
yeah.
always go PlayStation.
Really?
Oh, you do get them all
from
mixed
the
up,
old
don't you?
PlayStation commercials, that dung dung
Yeah,
dung dung
yeah.
PlayStation.
That's really
And for some
funny.
reason, those sounds go together for me. And every time, wong, PlayStation.
Perfect.
That's
Weird.
so.
You just try to
funny.
bring people together. That's all.
great.
That's
Yeah, it's all
exactly.
Tim?
I like the PlayStation booting up because that means I'm playing some games. So I get all excited when I hear that.
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Great question. All right, let's move on to Facebook. Cohen Grizzard, with all the Hurricane Irma forecast, there's a chance living on the East Coast we may have to evacuate. That said, do you pack up your consoles when you have to go or leave it behind? Hope everyone out there stays safe. Amen to that. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you had to evacuate, would you take them with you?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. I mean, if I had the time, like
Probably.
kind of like everybody's got here in the States, everybody's got the time because
Yeah, we
it's
all
like
have time right now.
yeah, we've been here and it's coming for what, a month, and so it's definitely like I think I'd start packing up the expensive stuff, and that would be in that
Yeah.
pile.
Yeah. Yep.
Chris,
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I would.
Ed,
Yeah, I probably would.
Tim.
Me too.
Now,
too.
I probably wouldn't grab them though if like a tornado all of a sudden hit.
Yeah,
Right.
no, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, if you had time, then yes, you
If
would
I had
pack
time,
up
I
whatever
would
you
go ahead
could.
and pack up a bunch of stuff. But yeah, if it's just all of a sudden, I'm grabbing the churns and the wifey.
Right. You could always
Right.
get another console
And
later.
if Sadie can keep
Or
up,
your sirens
Yeah.
could be going off and you just continue podcasting. You're like, we got some time.
Well, that's
You
true.
did
That
last
did
time.
happen.
did happen.
Right?
hmm
That
Good
was pretty baller.
Good question.
Great question. Antoine Stennett. Hey, guys, let me first say thank you for the tips you gave me for going to Disney World back in July. I took your advice on what parks to attend, and we had a great time.
Awesome.
Now,
Oh, cool.
on to my question. What video game franchise would you like to see come to a close, and how would you like it to end? Think it's time for Mario to bow out, and I can see Mario coming to a close with him returning to his home world, followed by Princess Peach.
That'll never
There,
happen.
they would live out the rest of their days as normal people and fast forward to them telling their grandchildren stories of all the adventures they went on in Peach's home world.
Mm.
I like that.
Where's his home world?
That's good.
I don't know where
Yeah, I
Mario's
don't know.
home world is.
Italy?
Japan.
It's true.
Come to a close. That's really interesting. Ed?
Wow, I guess there aren't really. I mean, the ones that like Call of Duty, I can't say that because I don't play them, so it doesn't matter that they come out with a bunch of Call of Duties. And the ones that I do play, I like playing them, so I don't want them to end.
Right.
You know, so like, I'm good with another Assassin's Creed. However many you want to give me, I'll keep playing them.
Wow,
You know,
there you go.
So I don't really have an answer, just
You
because
know-
me not playing them is them coming to a close for me.
Right. You know what? I would say this is looking into the future. I don't want them to make too many Last of Us games.
Oh
No,
yeah,
agreed.
definitely.
And so
Definitely.
I'd say I wouldn't mind like them bringing that one to a close sooner than later. Like, 2 or 3. I don't want
Right.
like 4 and 5 Last of Us games.
Yeah.
That's just me
That's a
personally.
good answer.
Yeah.
That
That's
one,
a really good,
Good
answer.
answer.
And honestly, I'm
3
glad.
max.
I'm glad that they kind of closed the chapter minus Lost Legacy on the Uncharted, though, too. I think that was great. It was a great way to end, great way to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that would have been my answer. But I also kind of think like Assassin's Creed can end at some point. There is a point, and I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but at some point, don't you think it has to end, or do we just keep going into different? Like it seems like there used to be an ongoing, continuing story, and then
Yeah.
after 3, then everything kind of shifted. Well, even after Brotherhood too, a lot of things shifted, and then the focus was just on being in history and not necessarily having the modern and the history being kind of part of the entire story.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm with you, Ed, on the whole. You can keep doing Assassin's Creeds in different time periods, minus the present day stuff. If it's just going right into time period stuff, that's awesome. I can do that.
Let me
all
ask
day.
you though,
Yeah.
would you like Assassin's Creed to like break kind of what they're doing in the sense of where like you play a modern day assassin, or do you want to always be in history?
Oh, I love the time period stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think if you did a modern day, it would. I don't know.
And I mean
It's
modern
kinda
day
like a
like
Watch Dogs. then.
like
Yeah.
like the 2000s, not like I don't I don't
Right.
want anything in the future, but just like
know.
when I think of their like
they could do an '80s one.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
how weird would that be if they did
That
the
would be
80s?
an '80s one. That'd be amazing.
we just laugh the whole
No,
time. We
yeah.
wouldn't be able to take it serious if they did it.
I know, right?
Exactly. You couldn't take it serious. Yeah. No, like it has
Assassin's
to be.
Creed, Night at the Roxbury.
That's right.
His cape would be like a purple zebra print.
Exactly. Oh, be amazing. He's got like a neon pink headband on with
Right.
with wristbands and be amazing.
That's
no,
funny.
like I love the time period stuff. I think it's great.
Chris?
So I don't like whenever iconic franchises kind of, to me, feel like they jumped shark.
Yep.
You know, I'd rather an iconic franchise end strong or just come to what feels like a natural close. So I'm going to say two different series. One of them is, I'm going to say Uncharted, which may sound weird because in theory it's over now. But after beating Lost Legacy, I'm not really so sure.
Ooh, you like the little
Personally.
spin-offs.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm just saying, I feel like the door is open. And now, granted, it probably will not be, you know, Nate and all them. But I'm just saying, Uncharted, like, as a series, like, I don't think they need to like add new characters and start a whole new trilogy or whatever. Like, I feel like it needs to be wrapped up here and be done.
There you go.
I mean, they can, and I'm fine with, you know, 5-6 years down the road, they want to reboot or something or come back. Sure, maybe then, but it needs to take a break and not keep going. And the other one that I'm going to say is Halo, because I feel like it's getting that point where it's getting very, if it hasn't already, like tipping over to where, sure, it's going to have its fan base, but like it's not the mainstream big juggernaut that it was. And it's like, I want it to end on a high note and be like right off into the sunset good, not be like, man, should have stopped 3 games earlier. You know what I mean? I just don't like that. I don't like iconic series getting tarnished. So I'd rather it go away, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 years, and then have a resurgence or something. That'd be fine. But I feel like, hey, whatever the last one was, Halo 5, where I feel like that needs to be it. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because Microsoft at the current time does not really have many exclusive franchises, and that's their biggest one, arguably. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Isn't that beating a dead horse, though? I mean, don't you think at some point, and I know Matt Leidy will argue with me on this one, but don't you think like Halo 5, do you think people are burned out by it? Because really, you're not really playing Halo for the story, right? You're playing for the multiplayer and you're playing for the maps and all that fun stuff. So it's like an extension of a Call of Duty.
I feel like obviously there's a huge Call of Duty is pretty much only the multiplayer. I mean, obviously they have people that play the campaign, but every story's kind of different, or every third story might kind of tie into one that was back before. There's a ton of people who love the Halo story and love the lore and love Master Chief and all the stuff like that. And I feel like that it's weighing in popularity. It's like, I just don't want to see it have 2 or 3 more games and people are just like, oh my gosh, kind of like embarrassed for Halo. Like, I don't want that to be the case. I want it to go out on top. You know, I like that. I like the iconic nature of games. I don't like them being tarnished. And I feel like Halo could be going that way. And I feel like if Uncharted does a few more, you know, I don't know, maybe it could go downhill. I really don't know. I'd rather it end on top.
I'm with you on that.
I like that.
The beauty of the Uncharted series, though, is that they put a period at the end of the franchise, but they can always write something else in. And whether or not they choose to do that, I have a feeling they're going to be switching gears, and Last of Us Part 2 is really going to be their next focus now. So, you know, we've got some time. I wouldn't be mad if, like you said, 5 years down the road, they come up with something more. I think that would be great, because then it's like, oh man, I haven't played those games in forever and this is new and this is great. Cool. But like, not right away. Definitely not. I think you'd be beating it to death.
There you go. What about you, Ed? Did you say one, Ed?
I didn't really have one, just because, I'm good with what I play, and what I don't play, they can do whatever they want. I'm fine with it.
Timmy,
there you go.
And Tim, you said Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. What about you, Gabe? Did you say it?
I said Last of Us.
Oh, good Lord. All right, I'm losing my mind. All right, good question. Thanks, Antoine. Appreciate it. Robert Darrell Good Jr., in honor of Destiny 2's release, pick one for your weapon. A, Icebreaker, B, Thorn, or C, Yallarhorn.
Ooh, and Chris, break down those weapons, like why they're amazing.
Because a Thorn doesn't sound very
no, because I only kind of know. I only kind of know, so I can't do it justice.
Guns. I'm going to speak about these guns and their original unadulterated form, because they all got nerfed to the ground.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. Every one of them did. So the Icebreaker basically has unlimited. It's a sniper rifle, and it basically has unlimited ammo. So it had, I think the clip was 4 bullets, maybe, or 5 bullets. Mm-hmm. But it would regenerate ammo every so many seconds.
Right.
So it would continue to regenerate.
Nice.
So you could shoot, you could aim, shoot, and however many times you needed to, and then just wait, and it would regen the animal and just keep picking off enemies from far away and boss fights.
And that's
really
your
great
weapon,
for that.
definitely.
Yep.
And then there was
totally
And what people might not know too, Chris, is that like when you're running around in Destiny, for those that haven't played, like especially in the big firefights, like some of those raids, you would run out of bullets for sure.
yes.
And so
Yeah,
what was so awesome about Icebreaker was that it was a sniper rifle that you never had to look for ammo for. So you could just like, you know, you
that's
just
cool.
get up in a tree someplace and take care of business.
But you would have to like shoot, then probably move because people would try and spot you. And while you're moving, that's when you would replenish your ammo. Yes?
No, but see, the thing with the Icebreaker is that it also had the longest range of any gun in the game at the time.
Wow.
So you could get
Nice.
so far back that they couldn't hit you, and you'd be shooting.
Oh,
them.
that's cool.
So that gun, besides the raid, the hardest thing to do in Destiny every week was this strike called the Nightfall Strike. It had really difficult modifiers, random modifiers put on it every week. And that gun single-handedly allowed people to go and solo the Nightfall because they could just, it would take them a while.
Pick them off.
But they
Yeah,
could
sure.
just do it using Icebreaker. And it made this amazing sound when it would shoot. It was really, really good gun.
right.
What
about Thorn?
The Gallahorn, well, Thorn was a hand cannon or a pistol, if you will, a revolver. And it shot these thorns, if you would, that they would hit the enemy and then they would deal damage over time. So it'd be like you would be burning for so many seconds.
Yep.
And so you could take it into the Crucible, which is where it got used the most, and you could headshot somebody and then body shot them and they'd be dead because the overtime kit would just kill them. They couldn't survive it. And so they had to nerf it to the ground. And then eventually later on, they came out with different armor that would like reduce the effects of damage over time weapons, mainly aimed at Thorn, but there are definitely some other weapons that would do the same kind of thing, like grenades and whatnot. So it's mainly, its biggest area was in PvP. It definitely was useful gun in PvE as well, but that was its main thing. And it was ridiculously OP in PvP for sure. And then the Gallahorn is just probably the most iconic gun in all of Destiny lore, and was definitely for pretty much the first year the strongest weapon in the game. You could take that weapon into a raid or into any other kind of final game content, and you could just destroy bosses. Like if everybody on your team. So at one point during one expansion, it was called the House of Wolves, and they had the in-game content. It wasn't a raid; it was called Prison of Elders. At the highest one, the last boss was this fallen captain named Skolas, and he was really, really hard to beat. I mean, I finally beat him one time, but it took me forever to do. But if they had the modifier for solar damage, because the Gallahorn had put out solar damage, if each person had it, they could shoot like 4 rockets apiece and he would just be dead. He'd be gone.
So it was like a rocket launcher?
Yeah, it was a rocket launcher. And what it would do is it would fire a rocket. And when the rocket exploded, these, what they called wolf pack rounds, these other little tiny rockets would split off from the rocket that exploded and hit it again. So it was like you were hitting, with one rocket, it was like you were hitting them with 3.
I'll take I'll take Gallahorn for 600, please.
And then they ended up nerfing it into the ground as well. And it was still actually a really good gun, but it was nowhere near the like legend status that it was. So,
That's cool.
Yeah. You really can't go
Listen
wrong
to
with
you,
any
our
of them,
little
depending on what it is.
Destiny historian.
I know,
That's amazing,
right?
Chris.
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
I play a
Love
lot of
hearing
it.
you talk about that. Yep.
Yeah, I would take funny enough, because I suck at sniper rifles, but I loved my hand cannon. And so I'd have to go with the Thorn.
Mm.
Nice.
Ed, if you were to just choose one randomly.
Yeah, Tim was right. I'll take the sniper.
I knew you would. Icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
That's really cool.
And then Tim, you say you'll take the rocket launcher?
I'll take. Is it pronounced Gallahorn or Gallahorn?
It's there's many different ways. So many people have said it different ways. I don't know if there's ever been an official from Bungie said this is how you say it. I mean, it's based off of. I believe the term comes from Norse mythology, so I don't know the exact one, but most people just call it Gallahorn.
Oh, okay.
Or G-horn or Ballerhorn.
G-horn,
all
Ballerhorn.
kinds of different things.
All right. So what are you taking out of those 3?
It's really hard to not say the Gallahorn, but I think I'm gonna have to go Icebreaker just because I have such fond memories of that. Which part of that is because I got the Icebreaker pretty early on in my campaign, my life of playing Destiny. But I didn't get the Gallahorn until like a month before they nerfed it into the ground. So if I would have had it longer, I probably would be like, oh, no question, Gallahorn. But I had just the sound alone that Icebreaker made was, it gives me chills. It was such a beautiful gun.
Nice.
That's so cool.
And by the way, we do have that MTTG clan up. So come join your boys.
Yeah, we do. Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Mm.
Robert, thanks for that. That was really awesome. And Chris, thank you for the history
Yeah,
lesson.
dude,
It was
well done.
amazing. Love that. All right, D-High. NFL begins this week.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Give me one quick prediction about your team. Ed.
They will go as far as they go, but then they're not going to go any further.
There it is.
Perfect.
Yay, sports ball.
I like sports. I don't care who knows.
That's right.
Chris, you're down a running back for at least 6 games,
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, but he's playing the first one.
Yes, he is.
which is weird.
I'm gonna say that they will win the NFC East. And I don't think
What?
that's like a given. I don't think
Whoa.
that's a given. It's not. So, but I'm gonna say they'll win.
No.
Mm.
Like
What do you
going to
know
the
it
Super
for?
Bowl?
No.
No, the
No,
NFC.
NFC East, their division.
They'll win their division.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I can
I
see
got
that. I can see that.
Yeah. I'm not ready to
Huh.
predict about Super Bowl or nothing like that. It's too early for that.
I think me and Tim's Titans. Do you rep the Titans? You rep Titans, right, Tim?
Yeah, I rep Titans. Yeah.
I think we'll make it to the playoffs for the first time. It's in like 7 years.
I
Wow.
hope so, but I'm still a little doubtful. But
yeah, but I don't
think,
know. Yeah. We'll make it to the playoffs,
think-
though, right? The playoffs.
Playoffs?
dude. I don't playoffs. I'm talking playoffs.
No.
Dude, I don't know. I think I'd be happy if we just get 500 at this point.
We did
we're
500
still a
last
young
year, I think.
team. We did.
I think so.
I don't know.
Tim just
Maybe.
melted.
I don't know. You know what? I think DeMarco Murray's going to get 1,000 rushing yards this
Hey,
season.
there you go. That's a good prediction. He could do it.
There
He's
you go.
done it
Beast,
before.
man. I would love to see Derrick Henry get it too, but there's no way you're going to get 2 running backs hitting 1,000 yards. But we've got good running backs. I will say that.
There you go.
That I think is on lock. We just need to make sure our O-line covers Mariota. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, NFL, baby. It's the fall. Here we go.
so excited.
We got Yay Sports. Yay Sports. All right, let's move on to Twitter at Dante's Belmont. Favorite fast food burger? For me, it's a Clogger from Krusty Burger at Universal.
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
awesome.
Nice.
Lord have
Nice.
mercy.
That just
That's
sounds
hilarious.
horrible.
I love that.
Oh.
That
Favorite
sounds like
fast
open
food
it up
burger?
and immediately go to the toilet.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I got to go with right now. Eeks fast food. I think I got to go with the Five Guys.
There you go.
Oh,
That's what I'm
nice.
talking about right
Yes,
there,
sir.
baby.
Five Guys, beautiful.
I'm
Those
with
burgers
you.
are-
Five Guys. Best
They
fast
are
food
good.
burger. in my
They are
opinion.
very good.
Yeah.
They are very
Eat
good.
them right away though. Don't leave them in that tinfoil for too long.
Mm-mm.
No.
Get
'Cause
all
that grease
soggy.
that grease will sop up that bread, boy.
Yes,
Right.
it will.
Do not put the bag on your car seat on the way home.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead, eat and drive.
right.
That's right.
Ed, what say you?
I'm going to go with the double-double from In-N-Out.
Ooh,
Ooh.
of course. Mainstay. Tim?
I'm
Yeah.
going OG, man, because I had one a week ago and it's like, oh, this is so good. The old Big Mac.
Oh, nice.
Really?
I love the old Big Mac.
Huh.
Yeah, man.
I'm down for that.
And I don't eat them a whole lot. I usually just get their cheeseburgers, but I had a Big Mac. I was like, oh my gosh, this is delicious.
Yeah. OG for sure. Christopher.
hmm
I'm going Five Guys. Best fast food
Nice.
burger I've had.
There you go.
My opinion.
I do
Gosh,
love me some Five Guys.
Burgers. Even though we do have a place here called Burger Up, it's a restaurant though.
Yeah.
It's not fast
Oh,
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those burgers are ridiculous.
that's
Those
different.
burgers are
We're definitely
good.
distinguishing fast food here. Yeah.
Exactly.
fast
exactly.
food.
So
I
Five
was
Guys,
just
would you
mad.
call
Yeah.
Five Guys fast food
Yeah, man.
since they don't have a drive-through?
You ain't gotta have a drive-through for that.
No, you're good.
You don't?
You're
Wait,
good.
what?
Yeah, I
Is
would
it-
consider. I know what you're getting at, Ed, but I would consider it fast food. Yeah,
You'd
'cause you're
consider it
still
fast
in and
food?
out
Okay.
Yes,
relatively.
I
I
think
guess
quickly.
so.
because it's not like a waiter or a waitress that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
It all sounds delicious to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Great question. Thanks for that.
I'll be
Moving on.
right back.
I know. I'm so hungry right now.
Spencer Stapleton, just a silly question. Which
JT.
cartoon character are you? That's right. Which cartoon character are you closest to in terms of personality, and would you ever go as that character for Halloween?
What
Ooh.
cartoon character am I most like?
Oh.
That is a strange question.
Yeah, right.
Oof.
Wow.
That's a hard. I don't watch cartoons anymore.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm going to say probably Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story.
Oh, there you go.
Who?
I'm a married spud. I'm a married
Mr.
spud. I'm a
Potato
married
Head.
spud.
That's good, Ed.
Got a
Mr.
grumpy
Potato
and
Head.
sarcastic.
I like that.
I like it.
I'll be Grandpa Simpson just because I'm old and crotchety. Turn it up! Turn it up!
Old man yells at cloud.
Dude.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I don't know.
And I would totally rock that for Halloween too. I love Halloween. Oh, yeah, I'd do that.
Christoph?
Man, I can't. I don't know. I can't think of one that I don't know. Do you guys have an answer for me?
Hey, Arnold?
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with dang. I'm struggling like you, Chris. I'm like, what? I don't even know anything about cartoons anymore, barely, except
I know
the ones Amara watches. I'll say the. I have no idea.
I don't either, man.
I'm
right there
gonna
with
be
you.
racist, Gabe, and say that you're the French fries from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I will be
there
the
you go.
French fries from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's great.
There you
That guy
go.
was cool. I liked him.
He was awesome. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Chris, we got to find one for Chris, man.
I know, right?
Shoot. Cartoon character for Chris.
Who's fiery? We need somebody fiery.
Man.
Doggone it.
But really nice at the same time. Nice and fiery.
Wasn't that
Yeah, we'll
guy?
have to come
I
back.
never watched it, but the Futurama wasn't that guy redheaded, the main dude?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Shut
Yeah.
What was
up
his
and take
name?
my money. I just know him from that meme. I don't know his actual
I
name
don't
is.
know what his name was.
I
The
forget his
robot
name.
was Bender, right?
Yeah, Bender.
that
I
was
know
Bender.
And then they
What
had
was his
Lobster
name?
Man. I don't know what his name was and what his
People are
personality
yelling at their radios right now.
I know.
Yelling.
They totally
I
was.
know.
I know.
Was it
Somebody
like-
look it
I
up,
wanna
please.
say, like,
Nobody Google
Kale-
it. No, don't Google it.
All right. Hey, we'll leave it at that because everybody will be screaming in their cars right now, and we're gonna get like 50 million oops next week. It'll be great.
What was his name?
Oh,
Oh,
but it
by
won't
the
be,
way,
it won't be an oops because we're saying we don't know what it is.
No, we don't.
So that's not an oops.
his name is like
Yeah, well,
literally
that's
on
true.
the tip of my tongue. I can hear the one-eyed girl saying it, but I just can't like put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ugh, that is killing me because I used to
I know,
love
I keep
Futurama.
on-
I used to watch it a lot.
Yeah, I have no idea what his personality type is, so I don't know if that matches, but
I kept wanting to say kale, but I know that's not it.
No, that's definitely not it.
No.
dang it.
But speaking of cartoons, me
Yeah.
and Stancil did get to play Cuphead at PAX.
Oh, what'd
how
you
was
think?
Ooh,
How hard was it?
and?
It was so hard.
Really? Man, I don't know
I mean,
if I'm
man.
gonna get this now.
So the first thing we did, the only thing we did was like, I don't know how we even got there, but the first thing we got launched into was a boss battle.
Mhm.
Y'all,
jeez.
oh,
I mean,
good Lord.
you talk about sponges. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, they just taking the bullets. We're trying to figure it out. I think they gave you like 10 or 15 minutes to sit there and play. And then at the end, when you die, it kind of has these flags like on a timeline to show you how far you went. And I don't
Right.
think we made it past 60% of the way. Like, as far as
Jeez.
beating
Wow.
him. Oh, it
Wow.
was like, I mean,
Really?
it was mind-numbingly
Did that-
hard.
Did that deter you from, were you going to get it? And are you going to get it now?
I'm still going to get it, but it's just like, it sucks to know that I'm going to get it and probably not finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cheapskate in me is like, well, don't buy it if you're not going to beat it. But like, everything in me wants to play that
But
game.
the style looks so good. I mean, the style is
I'm telling you, man,
unbelievable.
just watch a stream of it.
That's totally what I'm doing.
It's not the same though. If you
Yeah.
can control it and play it, I mean, I want to be involved. I don't want to just sit back on the sidelines.
I feel like that Futurama guy's name is 2 syllables.
I
You
don't
think it's
know,
2 syllables?
but for
I feel
some
like it's 2
reason,
syllables.
Woody Woodpecker keeps coming in my head for Chris. I don't know why, but it does.
Who's the one? Is that the one that went?
Yeah, exactly.
Was it Finn?
No.
See, I'm thinking 1 syllable. I don't know why. I've never seen the show.
You're so lucky I've not looked this up yet.
No, don't look it up. I like the struggle.
Screw y'all. I'm looking this up.
I
I'm looking this up
haven't-
right
I
now because
haven't.
it's killing me. I'm not going to
Okay,
be
wait.
able to sleep.
If you look it up, just give me a clue because I really want to figure this thing out.
Tell us how many syllables.
It's one syllable.
Doggone it.
Is Finn close?
No, it's got an F on it.
It's got an F on it. It's got an
If
F
that's
on
the
it.
title of the show, people are
got
so
an F
sure
on
they
it.
think they know what we're talking about.
Oh man. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, for real. Let's take
hair
like.
I got
red
it.
or is it not?
I'm staring at it right
Yeah,
now.
his
I can
hair's
tell you
red.
in 3, 2, 1.
No, don't tell me. Just give me 15 seconds. Hold on a second.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
When Gabe, before you tell it, when you're ready to be told, don't tell him because I have another hint I want.
No, get another
Ooh.
hint. You can get another hint. That's fine.
All right. You can have. cough.
What's the vowel?
Well, there's no vowel.
What?
There's no vowel in the name.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was.
Close.
There's no vowel, really?
There's no and sometimes, but
a Y.
yeah.
Okay. Right.
Oh, his name was
There you
Fry.
go.
That's right. Dog.
Yeah,
Fry.
But it's his
there it
last name, right? He just goes by it all the time?
Oh gosh, now we got to figure out his first name.
Oh, I don't know.
Everybody is literally unsubscribing to
Yeah,
our
his
podcast
name
as
is
we're
guys.
talking
Philip J. Fry.
right now. There it is.
Philip
Thank
J.
you.
Fry. Philip J. Fry. I told you his first name had 2
J.
syllables.
Fry. All right, we're moving on. Shall we? Let's keep this show on the road.
Thanks,
At
Dad.
UK Granny Gamer.
Yeah.
And now we're switching gears. At UK Granny Gamer,
Mm.
whom do you admire the most?
Ooh.
Fry.
Right. Admire the most?
Right.
Like French fry.
Yes. The inventor of the French fry.
Dang it. That's a good question. There's so many.
It is a good question.
I'm trying to think of somebody living.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, that's tough. I admire. This is not the most, but one of my buddies, his name's Philip Peters, and he's a guy that, like, on his heart, years and years ago, he was like, you know what? I want to make a difference in Haiti, and he started a nonprofit, and he's been there like 50 times, taking people down there, helping out there before the earthquake. He was actually there during the earthquake. There's actually, or his team was, I don't remember if he was, but they have a video. They're interviewing a girl, and she's just talking about her time there. And then, like, you kind of feel the camera shaking, and they're like, "What's that? What is that? What is that?" And it was during the earthquake. But
Wow.
for anybody that, like, has something so pressing on their heart to change lives, especially out of the country, and they go and they do it, and then they take people along, and those people fall in love with, you know, what they're doing as well. I love that. So I'd say I admire Philip Peters.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good guy.
Nice.
I got to work across from him for a couple years in an office for a while, and just watching that whole thing get legs and take off was really, really cool to be around and see. Ed?
My first instinct was to say Dad.
There you go.
But I feel like that's a gimme, kind of like, who do you love the most? Can't say Jesus. That's
Right,
of
right.
course your first
Yeah.
answer.
Well, I don't know. It's
like
not for
that.
everybody.
So I guess that's true. But I want to say, I especially recently, and even hearing Tim talk about Hall, I seem to have heard a lot of stories about people who are chasing their dream.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard to do, and especially if you have a family, it can be
Yes.
scary to do. And so anytime you see someone chasing a dream, I admire that.
Yeah.
That's
great.
amazing.
There's
I
a
love it.
commercial
That's
that's
a great
there's a
answer.
commercial on
Great
TV
answer.
right now that said, it's not the direct quote, but this is the sentiment. It said, remember when you're chasing your dreams, they're faster than you think.
Yeah.
And I think that's like so amazing. It's like what you're saying, Ed. It's not easy to do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but you gotta, when you go after it full out, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Chris?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of along the same lines as you, Gabe. Just anybody, whenever So like recently we had Hurricane Harvey, obviously, and then, we're having more hurricane stuff happening right now. And anytime there's a disaster or something and you get those people that they just like pick up and like, I'm going to go down there and help. It's not even like then hemming and hawing and should I, and let's put down and see what the numbers say and all this. Like they just get up and go.
Yeah.
Like people that can do that wherever it is in the world, whether it's in your backyard or whether it's, across the globe. I mean, it's just, that's very, very inspiring. And that's crazy. That's very admirable.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it takes not just a special kind of person and heart to do that, but it takes a lot of courage as well, similar to like chasing your dreams and stuff. Because that's not usually an easy thing to just give up and do,
For sure.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
Tim?
Yeah, mine's pretty much a combination of everything that you guys have said. I always admire somebody that puts others before themselves, that works hard and is passionate about what they do, and those kind of the people. Like I always love hearing not necessarily the rags to riches stories, but just overcoming adversity stories, because it's such a testament to the human spirit and for us as well, to our faith and what we believe in. And so you can't not admire somebody for that. I mean, it's just, it's kind of a given. So
I like that.
And it's been really amazing. We talked about it before, just how something like Harvey comes along and immediately, it doesn't matter who you are, everybody's just there rallying and trying to help one another out. And that we need way more of that on a day-to-day basis, and it doesn't take a disaster to do that.
Yeah.
So
Good. That's a good question.
Great question.
Answer.
Yeah, great
thank you
question.
for that. All right, Lucas Hamswisher. Hey, gents, recently got all 3 platinums in Crash Bandicoot. It was quite the adventure. What old school game could you plat if it had one?
Miss Pac-Man.
Jeez.
Nice.
Oh, I could
you
see
really?
you running.
Yeah.
I could see you running
I
that.
love Miss Pac-Man. Like, it's just such a good game. And I mean, obviously, like, I don't know how you would platinum that game, but like,
Right.
I don't either.
I grew up watching my dad play it, and like something like I don't know, and fast Miss Pac-Man. I don't like regular speed Miss Pac-Man, but the jolted up one. a
Oh,
little
wow.
bit.
Okay.
I love that game. Miss Pac-Man, if it's an old school game, for sure. Ed?
Space Ace.
Hey. Tim?
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think I could platinum any of the Don Bluth stuff, but shoot, I don't know. Pong. I don't know. Honestly, you know what? Back in the day, I was pretty good at Defender, so I'll say Defender.
There you
nice.
go. I like that. Chris?
I mean, it's obvious, but if Metal Gear had a platinum, I would be getting it.
Yeah.
Did
Yes.
5 not, and you
Yes,
platinumed
yes,
5,
you
right?
Yeah, I did.
No, he did. Yeah, Platinum 5.
And then the first ones you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, I'm talking like OG, like Metal Gear Solid, the first one I played.
NES?
No. I'm talking about the first one that I played on the PS1.
Oh, got you.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a
Nice.
fun question.
That
Yeah,
is.
I like that.
All right, final question at DrewBrew82. Who's the best cook out of you guys?
Oh, not me.
Oh, it's not me.
Oh, I'm going
It's probably
Ed.
Ed. It's got to be Ed.
Yeah, because Ed does a lot of HelloFresh and Blue Apron back in the day, and so yeah, you cook for Sarah anyway. So I would enjoy your cooking, my friend.
Aw. I'll say Tim, just because I know that you've cooked for your in-laws quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, and with the HelloFresh and the Blue Aprons of the bunch, it is like I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I can't wait to get back into it because you don't have to go grocery shopping, and if Lauren's working late or got something going on, I'm happy to pick it all up and just start making it. And it was actually very relaxing, like after a long day, just to be able to do that. And I really did enjoy
Can either
that.
of you guys whoop up anything from scratch?
No.
Or whip up? You could whoop up too.
I
but-
mean, I've been the breakfast king over here. Like I can do eggs any which way, and I love just bacon, sausage, Canadian bacon, all that fun stuff. That's easy to cook, but I mean, I could, but I'd much rather follow a recipe.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
That's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for all the questions. These
Yeah,
are
really.
great.
Yeah, that's fun. Question for you guys.
Ooh.
What was the first mobile game you remember falling in love with. First mobile game you remember falling in love with. And I'll start because I knew the question already. And I think it was Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I put so much time into Candy Crush when it first came out and couldn't put it down kind of thing. There's probably one before Candy Crush that I probably played, but that's the one I remember taking over my life, and it kind of took over pop culture for a while. And and I just remember playing that and then loving to look over and on the plane and seeing people play it and stuff like that. So say Candy Crush.
Right.
Yep. That's great. That's a good one.
Chris, you got one?
Yeah, Snake.
That's mine.
Really?
I played the mess out of that on my Nokia phone, man, all the
Did
time.
you really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played so much of that game.
Yep.
That is hilarious.
That is
I played
funny.
Snake too, but
Yeah, I
I
love
don't
it.
remember I don't remember playing it a bunch. I think I played it on computer
No,
though.
I don't.
Oh yeah, I played it all the
Oh,
time.
I
really?
think I played it on computer.
I played it on
first.
my Nokia phone.
There you go.
Yeah.
I might have played it late, once maybe they had it on the phone first and then brought it over to the computer and I played it there.
Yeah, maybe.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Tim?
I played a Texas Hold'em poker game, and it was one of those that was just way into the night. And there's been a few mobile games that have done that for me. One was that one. That was probably the first one. And then once I got hooked on Hearthstone, man, I would just stay up in bed at night just playing Hearthstone over and over again too.
There you go. Hall used to play Hearthstone in the tub.
Yeah,
in
he
the
did.
tub,
That's
baby.
right. In a Ziploc bag.
Yep.
Not him, the phone.
So awesome.
Until Chris sent him that old Ziploc bag 2.0.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hopefully.
That-
That's right.
that
He
took
may
me
have
a
sold
year to
it
get to him.
because he's moving. I'm
Yeah,
selling it
that's
all.
Let us know what
That's
was the
awesome.
first mobile game you remember falling in love with. And we will use hashtag AnswerHimTTG, obviously. And we'll talk about it next week.
Sweet.
Thank you guys so much for being here. 260 in the books, 260. Moving on up. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. And that is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace.
Nice. Look at that.
I always do that, and I just mouth it, and that time I actually did it.
Do you really?
Yeah, every single time.
That's funny.
That's
I
awesome.
mouth, oh, yes, y'all,
Really?
all the time. Yep.
Man,
It really gets me going.
I got to learn the words.
Gotta learn the words.
It really gets me jazzed.
I'll get you a lyric sheet.
Thank you.